The story of Genshin Impact begins with the tale of two siblings, the Traveler and their twin. They are beings from beyond this world, capable of traveling freely across countless worlds. But when they arrive in Teyvat, everything changes. As they try to leave, their path is blocked by a mysterious goddess, the unknown god, who calls herself the sustainer of heavenly principles. She declares that their journey ends here.
Outlanders, your journey ends here. Who are you? The sustainer of heavenly principles. The arrogation of mankind ends now.
Despite their resistance, her overwhelming power proves too great. One twin is captured, while the other is sealed away. In the start of the game, you can choose to play as either Ether or Lumine, while the other gets sealed.
Lumine! Give my sister back!
And just like that, the god took my sister. Cast upon me, and I lost my power. So while we used to travel from world to world, we are now trapped here.
When the Traveler finally awakens, they find themselves alone on the shores of Teyvat. Here, they meet a small floating companion, Paimon, whom they save from drowning. From that moment on, Paimon becomes their guide, their companion, and also emergency food. Together, they begin a journey with one goal: find the lost sibling and uncover the truth of this world. Their journey leads them to Mondstadt, the city of freedom. This nation is ruled by the Anemo Archon, Barbatos, a god who rarely appears and allows his people to govern themselves through the Knights of Favonius. Freedom is the heart of Mondstadt. At a statue of the Seven, the Traveler resonates with the Anemo Archon and gains their first elemental power, Anemo. But just as their journey begins, a massive dragon appears in the sky. Following it into the forest, they discover a mysterious bard attempting to calm it.
Don't be afraid. It's all right now. I'm back.
Is he talking to a dragon?
Who's there?
But the dragon senses the Traveler and flees, leaving behind a strange crimson crystal. Soon after, the Traveler meets Amber, an energetic outrider of the Knights of Favonius. She guides them to Mondstadt, but peace doesn't last long. The dragon, now known as Storm Terror, returns. It attacks the city with violent winds. With the help of a mysterious force, the Traveler manages to drive it away. This event draws the attention of Khaenri'ah, who brings them to acting Grandmaster Jean. With Grandmaster Varka away on an expedition left Mondstadt half a year ago, leaving Jean as acting Grandmaster to lead the Knights. She tasks the Traveler with cleansing the 3 temples of the 4 winds, which are fueling Storm Terror's power. After successfully clearing them, the Traveler earns the title Honorary Knight of Favonius. But the truth behind the dragon is far more tragic. 500 years ago, Dvalin fought a corrupted dragon named Durin. Though victorious, Dvalin was poisoned by abyssal corruption. As he suffered in isolation, Mondstadt forgot him. And when he finally awoke, feeling abandoned by both the people and Barbatos, the Abyss Order manipulated his pain, turning him into the monster known as Storm Terror. The Traveler eventually reunites with the mysterious bard, revealed to be Venti. After seeing the purified crystal, Venti realizes the Traveler has the power to cleanse Dvalin's corruption. Together, they form a plan to save Dvalin using a sacred relic, the holy Lyre der Himmel. But retrieving it isn't easy. Their attempt fails when a Fatui mage steals the lyre. While escaping, they encounter Diluc, who agrees to help after hearing their story. Working secretly alongside Jean, they locate the lyre at a Fatui stronghold and retrieve it, though it's badly damaged. After repairing it using purified crystals, they attempt to heal Dvalin. But an Abyss mage interferes, twisting Dvalin's mind once again.
done cannot be undone.
Then why do I see sadness in your eyes? Sadness that speaks of your yearning for this song.
We are communicating. Huh?
No! Don't get bored! Do not be fooled by him, dear dragon. He left you to rot alone. Now he attempts to deceive you once more.
Beetles.
Let your wrath fester. Mondstadt has already turned its back on you.
He escapes, and this time the Lyre is completely destroyed. And Venti is revealed to be the Anemo Archon himself.
Your Highness, your humble servant returns. When your homeland returns to this world, we shall revel in its glory.
Determined to end this, the group tracks the Abyss Order to the Dawn Winery, where they defeat one of their operatives and uncover the truth. The Abyss has been severing Venti's connection to Dvalin all along. With that connection restored, Venti is finally able to open the path to Storm Terror's lair, ancient ruins once ruled by the tyrant Decarabian. Inside the ruins, after fighting through enemies controlled by the Abyss Order, the Traveler finally confronts Dvalin. Using their power, they cleanse the corruption once and for all. Dvalin is freed. Instead of commanding him, Venti gives him something more important: freedom. Dvalin leaves to recover, and Mondstadt finally understands the truth. Storm Terror was never their enemy.
And so, the Storm Terror threat was quelled. I clarified the misunderstanding to the citizens of Mondstadt, and let them know that they are safe. To them, it seems Storm Terror attacked Mondstadt out of nowhere, and then vanished just as quickly. They must be finding the whole ordeal very confusing.
However, winds change their course. Someday, they will blow towards a brighter future.
The Holy Lyre! Lord Barbados! Even if I atone for these sins for the rest of my life, it would still not be enough!
Oh, give it here.
I don't know how you managed to fix it, but you'll never touch the lyre again!
We, really should get going. That trick I used to repair the Holy Lyre. I mean, the magic I used isn't going to hold forever, you know.
What?
But just when things seem peaceful, a new threat emerges. The Fatui Harbinger, La Signora, ambushes Venti. With overwhelming power, she tears the Gnosis, his divine core, from his chest. The Traveler is left powerless. When everything settles, Venti reveals a harsh truth. Even the gods are not safe. And the Fatui are far more dangerous than they seem. With no answers about their sibling, the Traveler sets their sights on the next nation, Liyue, in search of the Geo-Archon. Before we continue, some elite ball knowledge. In Genshin Impact, visions are elemental artifacts granted by the gods to individuals who possess strong ambitions. Visions are elemental power sources, allowing their holders to harness and control one of the 7 elemental powers. Those who wield a vision also gets a possibility to ascending to Celestia and achieving godhood. These visions allow the wielder to channel and control elemental energy corresponding to one of the 7 elements in the game. Aside from these elements, there are characters like Archons, Outlanders, and other divine beings. However, they do not require visions to use elemental powers. Some of them carry fake visions to simply blend with ordinary people. But Archons possess a Gnosis, a chess piece-shaped artifact that connects them directly to Celestia. While a Gnosis enhances their abilities and signifies their status as an Archon, it is not the source of their power, meaning they remain incredibly strong even without it. The story focuses on Tsaritsa, the Cryo-Archon, collecting all 7 Gnosis. The Fatui is a powerful organization led by the Cryo-Archon, from the nation of Snezhnaya. It consists of 11 elite members known as the Fatui Harbingers, with Signora being the 8th member. Throughout the journey, the Traveler encounters several Harbingers. In current story of the game, nearly all Harbingers have been revealed, and 4 of them are playable characters. Delusions are similar to visions produced by the Fatui. Like visions, delusions grant their wielders the ability to manipulate certain elements. But unlike visions, they can be used by anyone, and are also supposedly far more powerful than visions. Many Fatui members use delusions to wield a second element. However, delusions have immense and potentially lethal drawbacks in exchange for their power, possibly draining the user's vitality. At present, 6 Archons have appeared in the story and are playable characters in-game. Only the Cryo-Archon, the Tsaritsa, remains unseen, marking her as a key figure in the story's final arc. She will be soon shown as Snezhnaya is the next region. Also, as Moon Goddess Columbina has been introduced, she is treated as Archon-level status in-game, but her origin goes back further. She is also the 3rd Fatui member. To get to know more and uncover her story, keep watching the video. Celestia is a mysterious location that very few people understand. It is the floating island that can be seen in the sky above Teyvat, and is the residence and realm of the gods. It is currently controlled by the heavenly principles. The 4 Shades, also known as the 4 Great Rulers, are 4 gods who serve directly as envoys under the heavenly principles. They are implied to be more powerful than the 7 Archons. The 4 Shades are Nibirius, ruler of life; Renova, ruler of death; Istaroth, ruler of time; Asmoday, ruler of space. We have met Asmoday in start of the game, one who captured our sibling. Other shades are revealed but still mysterious in-game. Following Venti's explanation about Rex Lapis's annual appearance, the Traveler and Paimon head to Liyue Harbor to witness the rite of descension. However, the ceremony takes a shocking turn when Rex Lapis seemingly appears dead before the crowd. In response, Ningguang orders the Millelith to detain all suspects, including the Traveler. While attempting to escape, they are saved by a mysterious Hydra user, Child.
Hey, buddy, hold still. Stop! Come with me.
Child later reveals himself as one of the Fatui Harbingers and advises the Traveler to gain the trust of the Adepti to prove their innocence. He sends them to Juyun Karst, where they meet Mooncarver, who, despite his anger over Rex Lapis's death, believes in the Traveler. After seeking out the other Adepti, Child introduces them to Zhongli, a consultant handling the Geo-Archon's funeral rites. Zhongli agrees to help them investigate, provided they assist in gathering the necessary ritual items. As the Traveler works alongside Zhongli, with Child funding the expenses, they eventually receive an invitation from Ganyu to visit the Jade Chamber. There, Ningguang discusses the Fatui and their possible motives. Suspecting Child's true intentions, the Traveler confronts him at the Golden House, where the exuvia of Rex Lapis is kept. Child reveals his goal, to obtain the Geo-Archon's Gnosis.
Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you!
After being defeated, Child activates a backup plan by using replicated sigils of permission to awaken Osiel, an ancient god once sealed by Rex Lapis.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on?
In response, the Adepti and the Liyue Qixing unite to defend the city. With the help of figures like Xiao and Keqing, they fight back while Ningguang launches attacks using the Guizhong ballistas. When the situation becomes dire, Ningguang sacrifices the Jade Chamber, crashing it onto Osiel and sealing it once again beneath the sea.
Careful now. The Guizhong ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber. What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
After the battle, peace is restored, and the rite of parting is held. However, the mystery of the Geo-Archon's fate remains. The truth is finally revealed when Zhongli discloses that he is Rex Lapis, also known as Morax. He staged his own death to test whether Liyue could stand independently without divine rule. As part of a final contract with the Tsaritsa, he willingly hands over his Gnosis to Signora. With this chapter concluded, Zhongli warns the traveler about the next destination, Inazuma, a nation closed off under the Vision Hunt decree enforced by the Raiden Shogun, setting the stage for the next phase of their journey. Before we continue, here is a summary of Genshin Impact's Unreconciled Stars quest from version 1.1. This quest is no longer available, but it carries extremely important lore. I'll keep it short since many players never experience this event. Let's continue. A mysterious meteor shower crashes across Mondstadt and Liyue, throwing everything into chaos.
There was a meteor shower last night. The strike zone was very large, covering the entire countryside of Mondstadt and Liyue. The meteorites seem to harbor a strange power. A power that sends any who touch them into a deep sleep. The guild believes the meteorites to be highly dangerous.
Anyone who touches these strange meteorites falls into a deep sleep, trapped in vivid dreams of climbing a freezing, endless mountain. The Traveler and Paimon are tasked by the Adventurers Guild to investigate. Along the way, they team up with Fischl. Together, they discover that destroying the meteorite fragments can wake people up, but the problem keeps spreading faster than they can handle. During the investigation, they encounter a mysterious stranger who also seems to be studying the meteorites, but he disappears soon after. Later, they meet Mona, a powerful astrologist. Using her abilities, she uncovers a shocking truth. These meteorites are not normal. They are actually fragments of a constellation, carrying the will of someone from long ago. We encounter the stranger once more, but this time, something feels off. Mona Magistus senses an overwhelming danger and urgently teleports everyone away. In that moment, the truth is revealed. The mysterious figure is none other than Scaramouche, the sixth of the Fatui Harbingers.
Hi! Sounds interesting. mind if I join you?
What ho! We meet again, vagrant of Inazuma. My retinue and I were
just... The first time the Millelith were present, I had to forego the chance to strike down Mondstadt's savior. This time was a perfect moment. I was mere seconds away. But who was that mage? She could not have known who I am. Perhaps her powers revealed to her things unseen. Soldiers!
Sir!
Find them, and when you do... Another one?
My lord! It's happening again. This is the largest one we've seen so far.
They just keep coming. But so be it. Move out. Change of plan. Your prior objective remains in force. Continue to research the meteorites.
My lord, leave them to us. We will make short work of them.
Are you deaf or just stupid? When did I give you the right to issue your own orders?
My apologies, my lord.
Now move out and complete your objectives as assigned.
As they dig deeper, they learn about Leonard, an ancient adventurer who dreamed of conquering the highest mountain, Pylos Peak, but failed. His ambition was so strong that it survived for centuries, turning into these falling stars. Now, his will forces others into his dream, making them endlessly climb toward a summit he never reached. Realizing this, the traveler finds and destroys the core meteorite, the source of everything. Inside it lies Leonard's final story, a man who accepted his limits but believed that one day humanity would surpass them, with better tools, and even wings. As the victims awaken and the crisis comes to an end, one mystery still remains. The mysterious stranger appears again. But this time, something is different. He reveals that during his investigation, he discovered something far more important and far more terrifying. Then he says, "The sky of Teyvat is fake. The stars, it's all a lie."
I've discovered something far more important and far more terrifying.
What?
The stars, the sky, it's all a gigantic hoax. A lie.
The stars are a lie. What are you talking about?
Is this some kind of astrological debate between you and Mona? Because if so, surely you can come up with a better argument than the stars are a lie. Seriously, who's gonna fall for that one when you can just lift your head up at night and see them up there twinkling away?
Oh, you are so naive it kills me. Still, can't really blame you. After all, I used to believe the same thing myself. Up until a few moments ago, that is.
A few moments ago? You mean...
Look, I really don't have the time to do this right now. Time for me to go out and find the truth. So long, suckers.
Before anyone can stop him, he leaves. And just like that, he disappears, leaving behind one of the biggest mysteries in Genshin Impact. If the sky is fake, then what is the truth of this world? Another event was from 1.2, which is important for lore. We meet Albedo and help him with a magical sword. This sword, still to this day, is the most rare sword you can own in Genshin Impact. Let's continue. Sucrose asks the traveler for help uncovering Albedo's secret, but it turns out to be something far more dangerous than expected. A strange, cursed sword known as Festering Desire. Albedo asks the traveler to wield the blade in Dragonspine to study it. As they fight, the sword grows stronger, almost like it's alive. Albedo reveals the truth. The sword is cursed, but the traveler is immune. He believes it's because they purified the tears of Dvalin, giving them the ability to resist its corruption. He then tells the story of Durin, a dragon powerful enough to rival Barbatos, who was ultimately defeated and left to decay in Dragonspine. It's even suspected that the Fatui are after the sword, possibly because it was created from Durin's remains. As the traveler continues using it, the sword's corruption begins to fade, cleansed by their power. Albedo admits this is why he trusted them, calling both of them unusual individuals. Suddenly, a Fatui agent named Vadim appears to steal the sword for La Signora, but is defeated. The sword glows with energy, catching the attention of Pallid. Mistaking it for warmth, Pallid stumbles forward and accidentally releases its power, reviving a dead Cryo-Regisvine into a powerful enemy.
Fire? Fire! Warmth! Wait! Watch out!
Regisvine was brought back to life!
After defeating it, Albedo extracts the sword's purified life force and stores it, returning the remaining blade to the Traveler as a memento. But once they leave, Albedo quietly reflects, admitting he resonates with Durin's power, and thinking of his master, Rhindaughter, wondering if he made the right choice. Months after the fall of Ocial, Ningguang announces her plan to rebuild the Jade Chamber. To speed things up, she declares a grand competition. Whoever brings her 3 rare materials, Sunsetia wood, the Wonder Core, and Adepti sigils, will earn the right to ask her any question, answered truthfully. Hearing this, the Traveler and Paimon join in, hoping to uncover clues about the Traveler's lost sibling. During their journey, they encounter a mysterious girl named SHNEZHNAYA, who effortlessly scares off some shady brokers using exorcist talismans. Though distant and cold, she agrees to help the Traveler, despite suggesting, quite seriously, that they could just eliminate the competition. Together, they gather the first material from a dangerous domain.
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
Along the way, SHNEZHNAYA's immense strength and strange personality become clear. Later, they meet Cloud Retainer, SHNEZHNAYA's master, who reveals the truth. SHNEZHNAYA is fully human, but was raised among Adepti after a tragic past, leaving her disconnected from normal human emotions. For the final material, they team up with Yunjin, a famous opera performer. She hopes to win Ningguang's favor to support her troupe. As they collect the materials, Yunjin learns about SHNEZHNAYA's past and turns it into a story, The Divine Damsel of Devastation, a heroic opera inspired by SHNEZHNAYA's life. In the end, the Traveler's team wins the competition. Back aboard the newly rebuilt Jade Chamber, Ningguang keeps her promise and answers their questions. But before peace can settle in, a new threat emerges. Ocial's vengeful wife rises from the depths.
The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Ocial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming!
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Together with SHNEZHNAYA, they defeat the ancient god once again. The story ends in celebration as Yunjin performs her opera, turning SHNEZHNAYA's painful past into a legend remembered by all. In Mondstadt, Catherine tells the traveler that someone is looking for them. That someone is Dainsleif, a mysterious man with knowledge of the Abyss Order. Together, they begin investigating a dangerous plan. The Abyss is targeting Andreas. With the help of Rerir, they stop the attack, but this is only the beginning, because something far worse is coming. Soon, the traveler discovers a disturbing truth. The Abyss Order is experimenting with an inverted statue of Barbatos, and ancient war machines known as field tillers. When they confront an Abyss Herald deep within the ruins, everything changes, because they finally meet them. The traveler's lost sibling appears, but not as they remember. Now, they stand as the Prince of the Abyss. They reveal the truth. They are fighting against the false order of this world and the gods themselves. They refuse to return. Instead, they tell the traveler to discover the truth of this world first, before trying to stop them. And just like that, they disappear, left behind with more questions than ever.
So we'll meet again. Though we need not rush, brother. I have more than enough time to wait for you. We have always had enough time.
The traveler is shaken. Their sibling has chosen the Abyss, chosen a path they don't understand. But Paimon reminds them, this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. Because the next step lies beyond the sea. To uncover the truth, they must travel to the closed nation of Inazuma, ruled by the Electro-Archon Raiden Shogun. But Inazuma is sealed off, surrounded by deadly storms and strict isolation. Their only lead? An exile named Atsuko. She points them toward one person who can help, the captain who defies the storm, Beidou. Aboard her ship, the Alcor, the traveler meets Kaedehara Kazuha, a wandering samurai carrying a fallen friend's vision. To earn passage, the traveler must fight in the Crux Clash tournament, and they win. But even victory comes with a warning. Kazuha reveals the truth about his friend, a warrior who died resisting the Vision Hunt decree, a reminder of what awaits in Inazuma, a nation at war with its own people. And so, the journey continues.
He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. there will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god.
With Beto's help, the traveler prepares to sail into the storm, toward Inazuma, toward the truth, and closer to the sibling who now stands on the other side. The traveler arrives in Inazuma with Beto, entering a land ruled by strict isolation. They are greeted by Toma, who helps them navigate the harsh Sukoku decree, a law that traps everyone inside. Outsiders cannot leave or move freely, so Toma helps them pass customs by paying the fees. Toma then reveals he's an attendant for the Kamisato clan, serving Kamisato Ayaka, who wants the traveler's help. Soon, they meet Kamisato Ayaka, who reveals the truth behind the suffering, the Vision Hunt decree, ordered by the Electro-Archon Raiden Shogun. Visions are being taken away. Although the traveler only wants to meet the Shogun to find their sibling, Toma asks them to meet Ayaka at the Komori tea house. There he takes them to the statue of the omnipresent god. At the statue of the omnipresent god, confiscated visions are embedded. The traveler hears the painful wishes trapped inside. They're really lended toward the broken ambitions of their owners. Ayaka asks the traveler to meet 3 people who lost their visions to understand Inazuma's suffering, while helping people who lost their visions. Moved by this, the traveler chooses to fight. We encounter Yayamiko, the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, who reveals a shocking truth. The Raiden Shogun ruling Inazuma is merely a puppet. The real Electro-Archon, A, resides within the plane of Euthymia. To put an end to the Vision Hunt decree, the traveler must confront A in her inner realm. Witnessing the suffering of those who have lost their visions, the traveler chooses to stand with Ayaka and join the resistance against the Shogun's oppressive rule. Traveler and Yoimiya work together to rescue Master Masakatsu, using fireworks as a distraction to break him out of prison. Kujo Sera, the Shogun's loyal general, intercepts them, but ultimately allows their escape so Masakatsu can recover. Afterward, the traveler and Paimon return to Komori Tea House to share the good news with Kamisato Ayaka. While taking a break, they attend the Amakane Island Festival with Ayaka and assist Yoimiya in helping Sakujiro safely leave Inazuma. Next day, back at the tea house, the traveler and Paimon learn from Ayaka that Toma has been captured by the Tenro Commission and is set to become the 100th victim of the Vision Hunt decree. During the public ceremony, Ayaka wants to rescue him herself, but the traveler convinces her to let them handle it instead. The traveler challenges the Shogun to save Toma, and loses.
Capable of using elemental energy without a vision. You are an exception, it appears. Exceptions, the enemy of eternity. You will be inlaid upon this statue.
Shogun, who was that?
Seize him under the decree.
Huh?
Next time, I will strike twice.
They escape and are told to join the resistance against the shogunate while he hides at the tea house. On the way, Traveler saves a soldier named Tepe. He guides them to General Goro. Impressed by the traveler's bravery, Goro welcomes them into the resistance. Later, they get attacked by the shogun's army, led by Kujo Sera. As the battle intensifies, the shogun's forces begin to gain the advantage, until Sangonomiya Kokomi arrives with reinforcements.
Hold the line! Her Excellency!
My comrades, now is our moment!
Calm as the breeze, my lady.
I just hope you can afford all these mercs you've gathered!
Kazuha! We meet again, old friend.
Retreat! All forces, retreat!
Tepe brings the traveler to Watatsumi Island to meet Kokomi, the leader of the resistance. She explains that, due to the island's lack of resources, she reluctantly accepted supplies from an anonymous sponsor, the Fatui, though she suspects something is wrong with both them and the Shogun's Vision Hunt decree. Impressed by the traveler's determination, Kokomi appoints them as captain of Swordfish 2, a special operations unit. Tepe, eager to prove himself, also receives his own command. After a successful mission, Swordfish 2 investigates missing supplies. Tepe reappears, but he looks noticeably weakened. Back on Watatsumi Island, Kokomi and Goro reveal the truth. Resistance members have been using secret weapons called delusions, provided by the Fatui, which grant power at the cost of the user's life force. The traveler realizes that Tepe's sudden strength came at a terrible price. They rush to find him, only to discover him aged and dying. His tragic death fills the traveler with anger, and they vow revenge against the Fatui. Determined to stop them, the traveler infiltrates a delusion factory, but is ambushed by Scaramouche, the Balladeer, a Fatui harbinger. He mocks them and reveals how the Fatui have been manipulating events across Inazuma. Overwhelmed by the delusion's effects, the traveler collapses, but Yaemiko intervenes and rescues them by trading the Electro-Gnosis
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger.
What's happening? Get
Miko explains that the Raiden Shogun ruling Inazuma is merely a puppet, while the true Archon resides within the plane of Euthymia, pursuing eternity. She trains the traveler for their next encounter and devises a plan to expose Kujo Takayuki's betrayal, hoping to turn his adopted daughter, Kujo Sera, against him. With gathered evidence, Sera learns the truth and confronts her father. He admits his alliance with the Fatui and reveals that La Signora is meeting the Shogun. Sera rushes to intervene, but is defeated by Signora. The traveler challenges Signora to a duel before the throne and emerges victorious.
So strong! But how? I am a Snezhnayan diplomat. You know what happens if you lay a finger on me. I swear, if you strike me, I will make sure. The Fatui will make sure that your precious Inazuma... Stop! I order you! And you! Filthy rats! All of you!
You are the enemy of eternity. But as the victor, I acknowledge your honor. Therefore, I shall allow you to leave Tenshukaku alive.
There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow.
So we meet again.
Dear me, aren't you cutting it rather close?
Miko, this was your doing?
Now. Don't forget who taught you how to place your consciousness in objects. Surely you don't think your ambition alone is enough to shake A's will, do you? Though you alone are here, they too have ambitions, which they long since entrusted to you. Now then, close your eyes.
Write a piece of work that
I hope we can abolish the Vision Hunt Decree.
Yae Miko then persuades A to see that her pursuit of eternity has only caused suffering. Moved by this realization, A agrees to abolish the Vision Hunt Decree and reconsider her rule.
As promised, the Raiden Shogun abolished the Vision Hunt Decree. Finally, her people's wishes penetrated her locked heart. Beyond the plane of euthymia, she saw what eternity means in the eyes of the world. When one's fervent ambition burns brightly, the gods will cast their gaze upon you. Some ambitions have the power to heal wounds, to bring victory, to inspire hope. But some ambitions outlive their masters long after the soul ascends. They remain as they were in the beginning. Burning bright and true for all eternity.
Peace talks begin between Kokomi and Sarah's factions. Later, the traveler accompanies A as she walks among her people to better understand them. During negotiations, a member of the Kujo clan goes missing, and A uncovers betrayal within the Takatsukasa clan. She confronts and duels the culprit, ultimately sparing him after witnessing his sense of honor. The traveler and Paimon later take on a commission to protect the sacred Sakura from rift hounds. During the battle, A appears and reflects on how these creatures remind her of the ancient cataclysm. They discover glowing roots that reveal memories of the past. A samurai named Kitamura appears, believing the shogun is still absent. A explains that after her sister Makoto died in Khaenri'ah, she preserved her consciousness, and from it, the sacred Sakura mysteriously grew. However, she admits she still does not know what happened to the traveler's sibling during that time. A opens a portal into Makoto's consciousness, where her puppet challenges her, believing she has strayed from her path. They engage in a fierce duel. A asks the traveler to witness her resolve before sending them to find Yae Miko. With Miko's help, the traveler re-enters the plane, where centuries have passed and A is still fighting. She ultimately prevails, proving her determination to change, and the puppet accepts her as its master. Unleashing her sword fully, A awakens Makoto's final fragment. Makoto explains. She went to Khaenri'ah, knowing she would die, but left behind the sacred Sakura seed, so A would one day understand her wish for change. Back in the present, A ends the Sakoku Decree opening in Inazuma's borders and ready to lead Inazuma into a freer future. While exploring the chasm, we encounter Dainsleif again and begin investigating the abyss. During this search, we come across mysterious flowers resembling lumine. Interacting with them reveals memories of the traveler's sibling. Not long after, we discover a corrupted Halfdan. As we attempt to stop the Abyss Order, Halfdan ultimately sacrifices himself to halt their plans, and Dainsleif bids him a solemn farewell.
Look, the amplification device. Am I too late? They're in agony. This is no way for them to meet their end. Find a way to stop that thing.
Khaenri'ah didn't fall, did it? Since you're still here. Correct.
Later, deeper within the chasm, the Traveler and Paimon run into Yanfei, who is secretly investigating something. Arataki Ito and Kuki Shinobu also appear, Shinobu having come to Liyue to collect her diploma, with Ito tagging along and, unsurprisingly, getting into trouble. The group ends up falling into the depths of the chasm, where they meet Yelan and Xiao. Trapped inside a mysterious domain that distorts time and preys on their minds, they are forced to confront illusions tied to their fears. Ito's fear of beans, Shinobu's struggle with family expectations, and the Traveler's fear of losing their sibling to the abyss. Along the way, they learn that Xiao is searching for Bosacius, his long-lost Yaksha companion. As they push through the domain's traps and illusions, they uncover the truth. Bosacius sacrificed himself long ago to seal away the chasm's dangers. In the end, the group uses a fantastic compass to find a way out. Xiao attempts to sacrifice himself to ensure everyone's escape, but the others refuse to leave him behind. With unseen assistance from Zhongli, they all safely return to the surface.
Stars align, bestow your light, evil purged by thunder's might. Spirit curbed, pneuma surge, by dictum divine, heed these words. Do as I command!
Aha! The fantastic compass is an amplifier. Maintain this energy level, and we may stand a chance.
I will maintain the energy flow.
Understood.
Everyone, stand back.
I shall hold the line by sealing the surface.
As Yakshas, we must fight for this world. General Elatus, falling in!
Watch out!
This trip may be dangerous, yet you insist on going.
I have guarded this place for several hundred years. Only to seek the nameless Yaksha do I request your approval.
Your strength won't last!
Afterward, Yanfei offers to show Ito and Shinobu around Liyue. Xiao, reflecting on Bosacious' sacrifice, finally finds a sense of peace and thanks the traveler for reminding him that those who fall in Liyue are never truly forgotten. The traveler and Paimon enter the nation of Sumeru to find the Dendro Archon, the god of wisdom. They follow a strange scholar named Hypatia, but she uses incense that makes the traveler faint. During this, the traveler sees a vision of a giant glowing tree and hears a mysterious voice saying, They wake up in Gandharvaville, where forest rangers Tighnari and Kale take care of them. While exploring, they learn that there were two Dendro Archons, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, who died long ago, and Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Archon who lives in Sumeru City but is rarely seen. Kale suddenly panics when touched. Later, it is revealed she suffers from Eleazar, a painful disease that slowly worsens. The traveler helps Tighnari clear a dangerous withering zone. Tighnari explains that the world has a giant tree called Irminsul, which stores memories. The withering is like a disease affecting this tree, and no one knows how to stop it. The traveler realizes their earlier vision may be connected to Irminsul. Later, they return to Hypatia, but the traveler falls into another dream caused by a forest spirit. The dream shows their inner doubts and fears about their journey. Hypatia explains that connecting to Irminsul is very dangerous and can cause people to lose their minds. The traveler then goes to Sumeru City to find the Archon, but no one knows how to meet her, and people do not respect her as much as the previous Archon. After arriving in the Sumeru City, traveler receives a Akasha device, which allows for the transfer and sharing of information via a device called the Akasha Terminal. They meet Dunyarzad, Dea, and Nilou, who are preparing a festival called the Sub-Zerus Festival to honor the Lesser Lord Kusanali. Following a clue, the traveler travels to Port Ormos and meets Alhaitham. Together, they investigate a powerful item called the Divine Knowledge Capsule. However, when someone uses it, they go insane. In the end, the traveler realizes that the visions, the strange voice, and the madness are all connected. The truth about the Archon and Irminsul is still unknown, and something is wrong with knowledge in Sumeru. The traveler and Paimon return to Sumeru City after their journey and reunite with Dunyarzad, who warmly hosts them during the Sub-Zerus festival. The city is lively, filled with stalls, sweets, and traditions celebrating the Dendro Archon. But beneath the joy, danger lurks. Mercenaries attempt to kidnap Dunyarzad, only to be driven off by the fierce warrior Dea, who is injured protecting them. As they spend more time together, Dunyarzad confides a painful truth. She suffers from Eleazar, a terminal illness, and doesn't have long to live. Her only wish is to see the Dance of Sub-Zeros performed before she dies. Determined, the group rushes to the Grand Bazaar, only to have everything crushed when Grand Sage Azar shuts the festival down, banning performances. Dunyarzad quietly accepts this, hiding her heartbreak, while the traveler realizes she may never see her dream fulfilled. Then something strange happens. The next day begins exactly the same. At first, it feels like déjà vu, but soon the traveler realizes the truth. They are trapped in a repeating loop, a samsara, reliving the Sub-Zeros festival over and over. Each cycle resets the day, erasing everyone's memories except for the traveler and Paimon. They encounter a mysterious girl named Nahida, who reveals the shocking reality. The entire city is caught inside a dream. The academia is using the Akasha system to harvest people's dreams and knowledge, trapping their consciousness in this endless festival. The real Dunyarzad lies in a hospital, growing weaker with each loop, while a fake version of her continues acting inside the dream. With the help of Dea, the traveler investigates and slowly pieces together the truth. The samsara isn't just repetition, it's a massive experiment, using countless minds to create a single, all-knowing intelligence. To break free, they must find the host of the dream. After many failed attempts, a clue emerges. Dunyarzad's deepest regret, never seeing the Dance of Sub-Zeros. This leads them to Nilou, the dancer at the center of the festival. Realizing that Nilou herself is unconsciously sustaining the dream, the traveler helps her awaken to reality. As Nilou understands the truth, she performs the Dance of Sub-Zeros one final time. The dream begins to collapse, and in a beautiful, fleeting moment, Dunyarzad's spirit appears among the crowd, her wish fulfilled at last.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god. The Dance of Sub-Zerus.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
The traveler awakens in the real world. Dunyarzad is alive, barely, but saved thanks to Nahida's efforts. Nahida then reveals more about herself. She is Lesser Lord Kusanali, the Dendro Archon, who has been secretly guiding them all along. But the victory is incomplete. The sages of the Academia are still at work, their experiment unfinished, and something far more dangerous is unfolding behind the scenes. After the Sub-Zerus festival loop is finally broken, Nahida reaches out to the traveler using Catherine's body, revealing that the real threat lies within the Academia sages. To uncover their plan, they target Sataria, a conflicted scholar who feels guilty for abandoning her desert roots. Using clever mind manipulation through the Akasha, the traveler forces Sataria to confront the truth. She finally breaks and agrees to help, but before she can deliver crucial information, everything goes wrong. The Fatui harbinger Il Dottore appears. He captures Sataria and manipulates the minds of the entire crowd, turning them against the traveler. In the chaos, Nahida sacrifices herself to save them, but this reveals her powers and allows Dottore to trap her consciousness.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the Academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people. Leave now. You need to get out of here. What? That guy's a Fatui harbinger! We can't just leave you here! Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
Realizing the Academia is working with the Fatui, the traveler seeks help. On the way, they are ambushed, and soon discover that something far worse is happening. At Pardis Daiai, they encounter visions not of the Dendro Archon, but of Scaramouche.
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme Gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
In a shocking moment, Nahida and the Traveler switch bodies just as Nahida is struck down. From inside Nahida's true body, the Traveler witnesses the truth. Scaramouche is being turned into a god. Before losing contact, Nahida leaves one final clue. Even in darkness, the truth shines like starlight. Following this hint, the Traveler heads into the desert, where they unite with powerful allies, Alhaitham, Cyno, Dea, and Candace. Together, they uncover a disturbing truth. The Academia has been spreading lies about King Deshret's resurrection. Soon they discover that the exiled Academia scholars have mysteriously disappeared. A young boy named Izak begs for help in finding his missing grandfather, drawing the group deeper into the mystery. During their investigation, the Traveler and Cyno uncover a radical faction manipulated by incense and false beliefs, all spread by a masked figure claiming loyalty to King Deshret. With Dea's help, they track down these radicals, only to realize they were unknowingly being used by the Academia. Their search leads them to an abandoned Eleazar hospital, where they rescue a scholar named Razak. From him, they learn the horrifying truth. The Academia has been using these radicals to kidnap afflicted scholars as part of a much larger scheme. Alhaitham then reveals a shocking detail. He has been monitored through the Akasha system, which can predict actions like a machine, allowing the sages to stay one step ahead. Following the trail into the desert, the group confronts Dea's former allies. Despite rising tensions, Dea sets aside her pride to prove her loyalty, earning Rockman's reluctant trust after defeating him in combat. A sudden sandstorm engulfs them, and they awaken within the ancient ruins of King Deshret. Inside, they uncover inscriptions revealing a dark past. King Deshret once introduced forbidden knowledge that drove people to madness, and it was Greater Lord Rukkhadevata who saved them at the cost of her own power. Moved by this truth, Rockman repents and joins their cause. Back at camp, captured radicals confess the sage's ultimate goal: to create a new god using divine knowledge extracted from suffering scholars, a plan orchestrated by Il Dottore. The group returns to Aru village with the rescued scholars, determined to stop the sages and save the imprisoned Archon. The Traveler and Paimon join forces with Alhaitham, Cyno, Dea, and Candace to expose the Academia's corruption and rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali, Nahida, from the sanctuary of Surasthana. Alhaitham devises a risky plan to infiltrate the academia using deception and insider knowledge. Meanwhile, Cyno stages a fake arrest to help Rockman's followers enter Sumeru City. Dea and the Traveler visit Tighnari to gather intel on Ile de Torre, learning about Hypatia, a scholar linked to Scaramouche, who is being turned into a godlike vessel. A confrontation with Scaramouche reveals his transformation, his distorted ideals. On Janagaba Day, everything begins. Alhaitham pretends to betray the Traveler, allowing them to be captured and placed inside the academia.
Well, what do we have here? So you stole that divine knowledge capsule.
Traitor! You traitor!
Even the most rational scholar will yearn for the power of a god in a moment of desperation. Aren't you doing the exact same thing as me, Alhaitham? Unfortunately for you, no god will lend you their power.
Azar!
He has gone completely insane. Take him to the Matra and exile him to Aru village. Then find someone to take these two to the confinement room. I'll deal with them later.
Grand Sage, we've finished all required preparations for Nyagarbha Day. We may begin to enter the capsules now.
Excellent. You may begin.
Inside confinement, the Traveler reconnects with Nahida's consciousness and finally awakens her. At the same time, chaos erupts outside. Nilou distracts the guards, Dea leads the assault, and Cyno confronts the sages. The plan succeeds. Nahida regains control of the Akasha, strips the sages of their power, and prepares for the final battle. Deep within a hidden facility, the Traveler confronts Scaramouche, now inside a massive, godlike machine.
This is supposed to be a battle between gods, yet you choose to hide behind a mortal. And now, you're acting like you'd sacrifice yourself for a human. Are you having fun proving a false sense of heroism to yourself, Boor?
The data collection is almost complete. Do you even know how many times you've tried to take my Gnosis from me? just concluded the 168th loop. Did you know that in the effort to create you, the people of Sumeru were forced to live through the exact same number of Sabzeruz festivals and samsara cycles?
The power of dreams. When did you use it on me? You can't even defeat me in a dream. What do you hope to achieve with this little trick?
Come, Traveler. Just like before. Allow me to awaken the memories in your dreams. All that battle experience! It's more than that. Compile everyone's wisdom in the name of the Archon. That is the original function of the Akasha. I've sent everything that happened just now to the people of Sumeru in the form of knowledge. I've asked them to help you find a way to defeat the false god. Sumeru's wisdom is at your disposal.
Meaningless tricks won't save you. Are you done with your tricks? Can I finally take this as a real battle between gods?
I'll leave this to you, the first sage of Lyre.
Humans. Filthy humans.
Please! Anything but the Gnoses! That's mine! Don't even try! I'll never go back!
We haven't yet found the answer to the most important mystery. Irminsul is still waiting to be saved. With the power of another Gnosis, we may now finally understand the last memory of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. This is... That's right. This is the last memory of my predecessor.
With the power of countless attempts and the wisdom of Sumeru's people, they finally defeat Scaramouche. But the crisis isn't over yet. Inside Irminsul, Nahida meets Rukkhadevata's final consciousness. The truth is devastating. To completely erase forbidden knowledge, Rukkhadevata must erase herself from existence. And so, she does. The world forgets her completely. Only the Traveler remembers. With Irminsul purified, Sumeru is finally saved. The sages are punished, the Akasha is shut down, and Nahida steps forward as the true Archon. With the forbidden knowledge wiped away, peace returns to Sumeru, and its people are finally able to dream once more. In the aftermath, Ildotoi arrives to strike a deal. Nahida threatens to destroy the Gnosis, forcing him to eliminate all of his other segments. In return, he claims the Gnosis. He also trades a shocking piece of information, that the skies of Teyvat are artificial, in exchange for Nahida's own Gnosis, and she accepts. Later, during a peaceful celebration, everyone rejoices, unaware of the sacrifice that made it possible. Later, the traveler reunites with Nahida, who shares what she knows about Fontaine and its Archon legends. She also reveals a startling truth. The traveler's sibling appeared in Khaenri'ah after the cataclysm. But one question still remains. The traveler learns that their sibling is recorded in Irminsul, as if they belong to this world. And even more shocking, the Fatui classify the sibling as the fourth descender and suspect they may have tampered with Irminsul's records. Nahida senses that something, or someone, is concealing the truth. Though many mysteries remain, she promises to continue guiding the traveler. As the journey continues, Paimon suggests visiting Nahida again to learn more about the descenders. Along the way, the traveler overhears two scholars discussing the tragedy of Tatarasuna, a story involving a blacksmith, a puppet, and a corrupted furnace. Curious, the traveler listens closely and begins to suspect the puppet might be Scaramouche. At that moment, they see him entering the sanctuary. Alarmed, they follow, only to find Nahida calmly waiting inside. She explains that Scaramouche has agreed to help investigate Irminsul to uncover the truth about his past. Despite their doubts, they join him. As they enter Irminsul, long-buried memories resurface. They witness a figure disguised as Escher manipulating events in Tatarasuna, sabotaging the furnace and betraying Niwa, a noble blacksmith. Scaramouche realizes he was merely a puppet shaped by deception and suffering, and the truth shatters him. He wonders if the past can be changed. Without hesitation, he erases himself from Irminsul, disappearing from everyone's memories. Only the traveler and Paimon still remember him. Wanting to see the outcome of his actions, they travel to Inazuma. The events of Tatarasuna still exist, but Scaramouche has been completely removed from the story, erased from history itself. Back in Sumeru, Nahida reveals she preserved a backup of his memories and begins searching for him. Eventually, they find him, alive but with no recollection of his past. When confronted with the truth, he accepts it, as painful memories resurface. His former self, Shoki no Kami, briefly emerges, but he overcomes it and gains a new Anemo vision, choosing a different path.
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Hey! Are you done yet?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
As they return, they notice a broken vase left untouched, a reminder that not everything can be rewritten. A mysterious voice echoes, "The fate of Teyvat cannot be so easily changed. Trust your eyes." With that warning, the road ahead, toward Fontaine and beyond, grows even more uncertain. The traveler and Paimon receive a surprising letter from Khaenri'ah, inviting them to Jafar Tavern. When they arrive, they find him sampling Sumeru's famously spicy drinks. Though he claims he's simply there to explore local alcohol, Khaenri'ah hints at deeper motives tied to his past and memories of Khaenri'ah. He recalls how, as a child, he once tried to sneak into Sumeru in search of traces of his homeland, only to be caught and brought back. Over time, he's grown distant from those origins, even questioning whether his father intended for him to live a peaceful life in Mondstadt instead. Their conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Dainsleif, who recognizes Kaya's surname, Alberic, and reveals a shocking truth. The Alberic clan founded the Abyss Order. Though clearly shaken, Kaya masks his emotions, but the tension between them is undeniable. Two figures tied by ancient history and hidden truths. After Kaya departs, Dainsleif explains that he's in Sumeru to retrace a path he once walked with the traveler's sibling, connected to the Abyss's loom of fate. Their journey leads them deep into a video forest, where they discover an abandoned hut. That night, the traveler dreams of their sibling, reliving a bittersweet moment beneath the stars. The next morning, a mysterious man appears near the hut. Inside, the traveler finds an injured Hilichurl named Caribert. The man introduces himself as Eid, a Khaenri'ah noble. Caribert is his illegitimate son, cursed due to his mixed heritage. Determined to save him, attempts to create a cure using rare Sumeru ingredients and divine power, but it fails. As Eid grows increasingly desperate, Caribert disappears, leading them to a strange sanctuary where Hilichurls worship a dark, unknown entity. After pushing deeper inside, they discover a corrupted statue and hear a voice calling itself the Sinner. Eid is overwhelmed and submits to it. Later, Caribert briefly regains awareness, horrified by his condition. Eid lies to comfort him, insisting it's only a dream and forbidding him from removing his mask. Believing the mysterious power might hold the answer, Eid returns to the sanctuary, but the next day, Caribert vanishes again. Following his trail, they find him transformed, radiating abyssal energy. When he removes his mask, everything goes dark. The traveler awakens to learn Eid's true identity, Clothar Alberic, Kaya's ancestor and the founder of the Abyss Order. Mistaking the traveler for their sibling, he addresses them as royalty before everything fades. Dainsleif and Paimon later find the traveler unconscious and help them recover. After hearing the story, they investigate the area and uncover human remains, which Dainsleif believes belong to Clothar. He warns that the Sinner may now be aware of their presence before parting ways, promising answers in the future. The traveler and Paimon then arrive in Fontaine, a highly advanced nation where justice is performed through elaborate public trials at the Opera Epiclese. They learn that the Hydro Archon, Farina, rules with theatrical flair rather than traditional reverence. While exploring, they meet the magician siblings Linny and Lynette, who share a prophecy foretelling Fontaine's destruction by a great flood. Farina soon appears and dramatically challenges the traveler in court, accusing Paimon of being an illegal flying entity. With Linny's clever defense, the charges are dismissed. Shortly afterward, they encounter Child in Fontaine, whose vision has mysteriously stopped functioning, and he entrusts it to the traveler. Later, during Linny and Lynette's opera performance, a fatal incident occurs on stage. A crew member is found dead, and a girl from the audience vanishes, making Linny the prime suspect in an ongoing serial case. Chief Justice Nouvelette initiates a trial, assigning the traveler as Lonnie's defense attorney and Farina as the prosecutor. During the investigation, the traveler collaborates with Navia and the Spina di Rosula to uncover the truth. Major revelations emerge. Lanny and Lynette are Fatui agents from the House of the Hearth, serving under Arlecchino, the Knave. As the trial unfolds, the missing girl is discovered alive and admits the incident was an accident driven by fear, proving Lanny's innocence. However, Vaughn, a true criminal tied to a drug ring, dissolves into water before revealing his superior. Suspicion intensifies when the Oratrice, a divine judgment machine, ultimately declares Lanny not guilty. Afterward, Lenny reveals his past with Arlecchino, who raised orphans and seeks to use the Hydro-Gnosis to prevent Fontaine's impending flood. He apologizes for concealing the truth and offers his assistance. Navia remains convinced that the deeper mystery of the missing women is unresolved, and the traveler agrees to continue investigating, setting the stage for the next chapter. At the Hotel de Bourg, the traveler, Paimon, and Navia regroup to discuss the disappearances. Though progress has been made, Navia suspects the authorities are hiding something and proposes a new investigative approach. That night, the traveler encounters an oceanid spirit connected to one of the victims, Rerir, confirming that victims dissolve into water before they can even process what is happening. Clockwork Mecha attacks the city, but with Claren's help, they are repelled. It is then discovered that the machines were being operated illegally. Further investigation reveals that Navia's father, Carlos, may have been wrongly accused in a past case linked to the disappearances. Despite warnings, Navia presses forward, and with the traveler's help, they uncover a grim truth. A drink called Synthi, derived from primordial seawater, was being used to dissolve victims without a trace. They confront Nouvelette to access sealed case records, but no information is found on a crucial witness named Vache. This encounter resurfaces Navia's painful memories of her father's death and the reign that followed. Their investigation leads to a shocking conclusion. Callus may have been innocent, and the real culprit had been hiding in plain sight all along. All evidence points to Marcel, a high-ranking figure who is ultimately exposed as Vacher himself, the mastermind behind everything, driven by a desperate attempt to reunite with his lost love, Rerir. During the final trial, Marcel is convicted. However, unexpectedly, the Oratrice also declares Tartaglia guilty, despite clear evidence of his innocence. Tartaglia resists arrest, forcing Neuvillette to subdue him. Days later, the traveler visits Callus's grave with Navia and Neuvillette. Neuvillette admits his past misjudgment, once believing no one would sacrifice their life for justice, until Callus proved otherwise. With her father's name cleared, Navia finds closure and renewed determination to confront Fontaine's hidden dangers. After some time, Neuvillette summons the traveler and Paimon, revealing the child has mysteriously disappeared from the fortress of Meripede. Arlecchino, the fourth of the Fatui harbingers, arrives in Fontaine to investigate child's disappearance. To investigate, he arranges false charges to send them into the prison undercover. Inside, they meet Risley, the warden, and discover that Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are also investigating independently. Together, they uncover unusual rules and rumors of a hidden zone. They eventually learn that Child escaped through the prison's pipes after hearing a mysterious voice, leaving behind loyal inmates to guard his secret. With the escape route flooded and Child missing, the group presses deeper into the mystery. They discover that the tunnel Child used is filled with dangerous primordial seawater. Risley reveals he has been secretly protecting everyone and introduces them to the fortress's greatest secret, a sluice gate containing the primordial sea, which is beginning to fail. He explains that the fortress was originally constructed under the orders of the previous Hydro Archon to guard this secret. As panic spreads, the sluice gate breaks. Risley and Clorand manage to hold back the flood long enough for the traveler to summon Neuvillette. At the same time, Arlecchino confronts Farina, exposing her insecurities and suggesting she may not be the true Hydro Archon. Neuvillette arrives, seals the flood with immense power, and reveals his true identity as the Hydro Dragon Sovereign of Fontaine. He explains that only the restoration of the Archon's divine authority can prevent the prophecy from being fulfilled. With Child still lost in the primordial sea and Farina's identity uncertain, Fontaine's fate hangs in the balance. After 45 days, the traveler and Paimon are released from the fortress of Meripede. A tremor leads them back to Neuvillette, who reports unusual fluctuations in Poisson's water levels, likely linked to the primordial sea. While he prepares emergency measures, he sends them ahead. They arrive to find chaos. Navia reveals that Milos and Silver were killed by primordial water while saving others. Overcome with grief, she mourns at her father's grave. Arlecchino arrives, offering support, and later sends the traveler to investigate nearby ruins. At the ruins, flooded with primordial seawater, Navia falls into the water while crossing a broken bridge. Instead of dying, she awakens in a vision of Poisson, or she is judged by the spirits of the dead. With help from Milos and Silver, she rejects the illusion. Neuvillette arrives in time to save her, explaining she was protected by Oceanids, the souls of Milos and Silver. Inside the ruins, they find ancient slates depicting a prophecy and a weeping Hydro Archon. They determine these refer to Egeria, the former Archon. Neuvillette departs to confront Farina, while the group consults Mona, who contacts her master, Barbaloth, about the prophecy. Neuvillette questions Farina about the missing slate and the prophecy, but she denies any involvement, insisting she is not Egeria. Meanwhile, the traveler gathers allies, Navia, Linné, Lynette, Clorand, and Fremine, to stage a public trial exposing Farina. That night, a mage named In mysteriously appears. A warning follows. Even gods have blind spots, and there may be hidden corners where their gaze never falls. During the trial, Farina, overwhelmed by public distrust, is forced onto a stage-like courtroom. The traveler accuses her of being a fraud. When she reacts to diluted primordial seawater, it proves she is a transformed Oceanid. The oratrice then shockingly declares her guilty of a crime punishable by death. Fremine brings the missing slate, which reveals that Egeria transformed Oceanids into humans using primordial seawater without Celestia's approval, committing a divine sin. Fontaine's people are actually Oceanids in human form, doomed by prophecy. The Hydro Archon would be judged, and a primordial sea beast would devour Fontaine. Suddenly, the ground trembles as a massive narwhal-like entity emerges. Neuvillette and Child briefly engage it, forcing it to retreat, though it will return stronger. The prophecy appears unavoidable. Neuvillette and the Traveler are drawn into alternate realms shaped by Farina's fear. There, Neuvillette meets Focalors, the true Hydro Archon and Farina's divine counterpart. Focalors reveals her plan to deceive the heavenly principles by splitting her divinity and living through a human vessel, Farina, whom she cursed to neither fully live nor die. Focalors sacrifices herself, transferring her power to Neuvillette. With his full authority restored as the Hydro Dragon Sovereign, he absolves Fontaine's people of Egeria's sin, making them immune to primordial seawater. The prophecy partially comes true. The sea rises, but Fontaine survives. Neuvillette and the Traveler enter the primordial sea, defeat the narwhal, and encounter Skirk, Child's master. She reveals the beast is sealed and references names such as Sertologi, Vetterfolnir, Mornax, and Rheindotter. Skirk also explains that the Hydronosis is the remains of the third descender and should be destroyed. In the aftermath, Fontaine begins rebuilding. Charlotte reports the events for the Steambird. Arlecchino returns to claim the Hydronosis for the Tsaritsa, and the Traveler entrusts her with Child's vision. The Traveler and Paimon receive a request from Catherine in Sumeru City to locate a missing person from Vamara village. The case, submitted jointly by the villagers, has remained unsolved despite many attempts. No one can recall the missing individual's name, only a vague description. Accepting the task, the Traveler and Paimon set out for the village. Upon arrival, they question the locals. Bahram recalls a kind young man in his early 20s who was always ready to lend a hand. Amadaya adds that he spent time caring for the elderly and playing with the village's orphans. As they piece together these accounts, the Traveler begins to suspect that this person might exist only within memories and never truly lived. Atossa then leads them to a tree where she once spent hours talking with him. She confesses she saw him as the family she never had. Strangely, every meeting seemed to happen at dusk, with time standing still and the sun unmoving. The Traveler realizes this detail may be crucial. Suddenly, a Pyro-Abyss mage attacks. Atossa also notes that hilichurls nearby have grown unusually restless. After Atossa returns to the village, the Traveler and Paimon encounter Dainsleif, who is investigating Abyss Order activity. Reminded of his earlier promise, Dainsleif reveals the identity of the mysterious sinner as the visionary Vetterfolnir, his older brother and one of Khaenri'ah's 5 sinners, alongside Rheindotter, Sertologi, Rerir, and Hraptatyr. Once powerful figures, they succumbed to the Abyss instead of protecting their nation during the Cataclysm, something Dainsleif can neither forgive nor forget. Dainsleif has also been tracking the Loom of Fate, an operation continuing even without the first Field Tiller's eye. Believing it to be tied to the ley lines, he joins the Traveler's investigation, intrigued by the idea of someone existing only within memories. The next day, Dainsleif appears troubled. He describes suddenly remembering someone he has never met, including a vision of himself handing over the Field Tiller's eye. He concludes the missing person may be linked to the Abyss Order and capable of implanting false memories. To verify the truth, he leads them to where the eye is hidden. At the site, Dainsleif briefly loses focus again, but urges them onward. Soon after, he realizes they are being followed. The false memories were bait to reveal the eye's location. Detecting disturbances in the ley lines, he orders a retreat back to the village, promising they can locate the missing person there. Though uneasy, the Traveler complies. After they leave, the Traveler's sibling appears behind Dainsleif. He admits he knew it was a trap, but played along to meet them. The sibling, having come alone, challenges him. If he wants answers, he must defeat them first. While exploring near Vamara village, the Traveler and Paimon notice the once agitated hilichurls have become calm. Returning to the village, they are shocked to find no one remembers posting the commission. Realizing something is wrong with everyone's memories, they find Atossa speaking with a strange man, Khaenri'ah. Recognizing him from their siblings' memories, they confront him. Khaenri'ah had intended to say goodbye to Atossa, but instead leaves her a message and asks the Traveler to follow. He draws them into his consciousness and explains the Loom of Fate. Once capable of creating and implanting memories, it could evolve into something far greater, forming ley lines themselves and reshaping reality. Everything that occurred in the village was his doing, a desperate attempt to experience a life he was denied. The Traveler prepares to help Dainsleif, but Khaenri'ah reveals the loom is already complete. He had hidden the Field Tiller's eye within himself to lure the sibling and planned to pass it to the Traveler, but instead implanted a false memory to mislead Dainsleif. Though unaware of the sibling's ultimate plan, Khaenri'ah sought only to create his own reality. Having achieved that, he fades away peacefully as the sibling arrives. The Traveler is overjoyed to see their sibling again, but cannot touch them. The sibling explains they are only present within Khaenri'ah's memory and will soon be forced out. In their brief exchange, the sibling reveals their determination to oppose the divine and unlock the loom before the heavenly principles awaken. They also confess lingering doubt. As the memory collapses, they warn the traveler that this conversation will not be remembered. When the traveler awakens, Paimon explains they were found unconscious near the village and brought back. Dainsleif had checked on them, appearing injured and burdened. The villagers now remember the missing person, Khaenri'ah, but recall that he left with 2 others. The traveler and Paimon search for Atasa, who still hopes Khaenri'ah will one day return. When Paimon asks what happened, the traveler cannot recall. However, they discover a photograph in their pocket, showing themselves, their sibling, and Khaenri'ah together, as if urging them to remain united no matter what lies ahead. The traveler and Paimon arrive in Natlan, the nation of war, hoping to meet the pyro Archon. Instead, they encounter Kachina, a young girl grieving her teammates who left her behind during the pilgrimage. As a bearer of an ancient name, she hesitates at first, but recognizes strength in the traveler and Paimon. She offers to guide them, hoping to learn from them along the way. While exploring her village, they witness dancers moving in perfect harmony, reflecting the deep connection between the people and the land. Kachina introduces her Saurian companion, Io, and explains her tribe, the Children of Echoes, whose fate is tied to massive saurians like the Pediosaurus. At a sacred black stone known as the Wyob, a spiritual force that chooses champions, they meet Chief Pakal. Though initially cautious of outsiders, he quickly places his trust in them after hearing of the traveler's reputation. Soon, preparations begin for the pilgrimage, a ritual centered on combat, strength, and destiny. At the Statue of the Seven, the traveler attempts to resonate with the pyro element, but fails unexpectedly. However, later, they successfully activate a phlogiston chisel, something only Natlan natives can do, shocking even Kachina. They are then greeted by Toto, a massive saurian who bows gently in trust. Riding him, they reach the city gates, where Kachina is scolded by Kul Aja, alongside Kinich and Mulani. Despite this, Mulani shows kindness and offers to partner with Kachina in the pilgrimage. The traveler cannot participate, as only Natlan natives can fight and produce contending fire, the sacred energy that keeps the abyss at bay. 6 tribes unite for this cause: the Scions of the Canopy, People of the Springs, Masters of the Night Wind, Flower Feather Clan, Collective of Plenty, and Children of Echoes. The pilgrimage begins with teams transported by hot air balloons to random locations. Kachina and Mulani work flawlessly together, clearing the team stage with skill and precision. In the dueling phase, jealousy arises as rivals attempt to intimidate Kachina, but the traveler intervenes. She defeats Nkanga and Lelehua, gaining confidence before facing her mentor, Wolani.
We've arrived at the final phase. The winner of this match will take the final spot among the victors. Give it up for a long-time contender and first-time finalist from the Children of Echoes, Kachina!
You got this, Kachina!
And her opponent from the People of the Springs, a young prodigy and Night Warden Wars veteran, Mualani! This face-off between old friends promises to be an explosive showdown. May the best warrior win!
You've come so far. Still nervous?
Why does it have to be you? Still, I'm glad in a way. Even if I lose, I won't have any regrets.
Come on! Kachina, this is no time to be modest. I know you want this more than me. And it's about time you start sounding like it, okay?
I want to win. Mualani, this one's mine!
Look.
The winner is, from the Children of Echoes,
In an emotional battle, Kachina wins with a surprise attack. Advancing to the Night Warden Wars, she joins others to defend Natlan from the Abyss. Meanwhile, Mulanni invites the traveler to her seaside village. Before enjoying the hot springs, they must follow tradition by testing artificial springs, enforced by Attia, a former warrior scarred by abyssal corruption. They prepare a surprise celebration for Attia, but the night is interrupted by an abyss attack. Monsters emerge, including corrupted saurians and wolves. The traveler discovers abyssal pylons fueling the attack and rushes to destroy them. Attia destroys the final one, but suffers fatal damage. Though the traveler attempts purification, it's too late. Knowing her time is short, she later reveals the truth calmly and entrusts the traveler with a talisman for the Pyro Archon. The traveler and Paimon learns that Kachina, though killed during the Night Warden Wars, should be revived by the Ode of Resurrection. But when the Pyro Archon Mavuka enters the sacred flame to retrieve her, Kachina does not return. The ritual fails, shocking everyone. Mavuka halts the pilgrimage and calls for an investigation, suspecting the Abyss has begun to corrupt the sacred laws. In a private meeting, Mavuka reveals the growing abyssal threat and the danger of continuing the pilgrimage. She decides to find Kachina's ancient name, and a rescue mission forms. The traveler, Mulanni, and Chaska set out to retrieve her. Meanwhile, Capitano of the Fatui Harbingers arrives and challenges Mavuka.
Archon! It's the Fatui!
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us. Let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word! The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
With the help of Vichama, a spirit speaker, they perform a dangerous ritual. The traveler purifies abyssal energy, allowing them to recover Kachina's name and gain insight into Vichama's long-held guilt over a past failure. They prepare for the journey into the Night Kingdom. Meanwhile, the group enters the corrupted Night Kingdom, aided by Malko's spirit, Vichama's companion, lost in war. They find Kachina under attack and help her escape. She reveals that the Abyss is disrupting the way of keeping her trapped. They confront an Abyss Lector who mocks the Pyro Archon's ideals. Kachina and Mualani repel him, and the Wayob blesses them before an earthquake nearly seals their fate at the last moment.
Master! We'll never make it!
You've done well. Now come home.
Back in Natlan, Mavuika confirms that Kachina's rescue was part of a much bigger plan that was set in motion after the Cataclysm. Natlan needs 6 heroes, each chosen by their tribes, in order for the Wayob to survive the next great threat. So far, 4 of these heroes have appeared. To save the group, Mavuika used up sacred relics that once belonged to past Pyro Archons, and she asks the traveler to help finish what was started. During the celebrations, she also promises that she will secretly create an ancient name for the traveler. Meanwhile, Capitano withdraws, choosing not to take Mavuika's Gnosis, showing respect for her strength. 2 days later, at Natlan's Adventurers Guild, Paimon and the traveler arrive as Paimon listens to a report about Abyss activity before leaving. Catherine explains that the Pyro Archon has ordered the Scions and the Guild to cooperate, placing warriors all across the land. Kachina, now recovered enough to travel, joins them and says she wants to become one of those warriors. She also takes them to Jelonin, who has been given the task of forging an ancient name for the traveler. Jelonin is surprised to find out that the traveler is an outlander, since it is normally impossible for outsiders to receive ancient names. But she still accepts the task as a sign of Mavuika's trust. To begin the process, the traveler must first be recognized by the Wayob for guidance. To achieve this, they go to find Sitlali, an expert on the Night Kingdom. However, she is difficult to approach, especially after the spirit tied to her stone was broken. With the help of Kanich, they deliver Chuchu's letter of recommendation. After several days, Sitlali finally agrees to meet them at the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. She agrees to help, but only if the traveler helps prove Auroran's innocence. She senses lingering souls connected to the traveler, and explains that they must perform a ritual to consult the Lord of the Night, the being who protects Natlan's ley lines. At the same time, they begin searching for Auroran, who was last seen near Fatui forces. Following a trail of phlogiston, they split up. The traveler suddenly falls into the Night Kingdom, where Auroran appears alongside Capitano. The Fatui Harbinger warns the traveler not to trust Mavuika's plan, and hints that there is a hidden backup plan involving the Gnosis. Back in the real world, Auroran is rescued from a Fatui camp, but Sitlali becomes frustrated with how secretive he is. Later, Capitano secretly meets the traveler again, offering an alliance and revealing his doubts about Mavuika's approach. The conversation is interrupted by Sitlali, who begins to suspect that Auroran is working with the Fatuians, and Sitlali opens up about her insecurities and Auroran's troubled past. She explains that his soul is incomplete and that he failed in his role as a vessel for the Night Kingdom. Before they have time to fully process everything, the Abyss launches a massive attack across Natlan. The Traveler and Paimon help evacuate people and later learn from Mavuika that Capitano's backup plan would involve completely erasing the Night Kingdom. Suspicion grows even stronger when Chaska and Chuchu overhear the Fatui searching for something called the Source Mechanism, a device connected to Natlan's ley lines. Soon after, Sitlali shows the group Oraron's memory gem, revealing that he once saved Capitano's life. Through this, they uncover the Harbinger's true goal, to rebuild Natlan's ley lines, an act that could even alter memories themselves. With this information, they rush to Mavuika. Mavuika tells the others that she has located Capitano. Sitlali warns her about Oraron's dangerous memories and the source mechanism he plans to use, comparing its power to that of a Gnosis. Even though she has lost much of her strength, Mavuika insists on confronting Capitano again. The plan is for Knight to distract the Fatui while Jalonin leads the others to the device. They infiltrate the base and reach Capitano and Oraron just as the device is activated. Oraron bursts out with a strange power, but Capitano restrains him and demands to know the identity of the soul inside him. In the chaos, the Traveler manages to shut down the device from within Oraron's fractured soul. Inside, Oraron faces a hostile presence that mocks him and tries to take over his body, refusing to disappear. In response, Oraron accepts his true name and identity, revealing himself as the fifth hero. Mavuika acknowledges and praises his determination. At that moment, the voice of Yohu Altakuten, the Lord of the Night, is heard. She explains that the device did not awaken the ley lines, but instead awakened her, as she had already rebuilt them long ago into the Night Kingdom. She offers to sacrifice herself to restore them again, revealing that her kind were once like angels, but are now only remembered as Seelies. Mavuika refuses the offer, unwilling to repeat the sin of the Gnosis, while Capitano insists survival is all that matters. Their argument is broken by Oberon's newfound resolve for a life of meaning. Reluctantly, Capitano accepts Mavuika's plan, offering his forces to aid her. Back in the speaker's chamber, Mavuika formally welcomes the Fatui into the alliance. Capitano explains how he and Oraron sought the source mechanism after failing to secure the Gnosis, recounting his arrival in Natlan after fleeing Khaenri'ah and his vow to protect the nation alongside Chief Asu. Though weakened and cursed, he admits he once hoped to use the Gnosis to save Natlan before handing it to the Tsaritsa. When asked what uniting all 6 heroes means, Mavuika reveals they would wield power from Renova, god of death. But the Abyss, sensing Auroran's awakening, intensifies its assault. The Traveler and Paimon help evacuate villages and repel attacks as tumors reign across Natlan, spawning endless monsters in the chaos.
Thanks.
The situation is grave. Hold this position. Keep the people safe.
Chaos and emptiness. So that's the Abyss.
And it knows that now is its best chance.
But the sacred flame!
Archon's on the case.
Chuchu falls to abyssal corruption despite their efforts, and Casca, stricken by grief, awakens her ancient name as the sixth hero. With all six assembled, Mahuika leads the ritual of the Ode of Resurrection, declaring war against the Abyss.
We unite as one,
Baptized by the Turnfire,
bearing an ancient blessing, knowing true power,
and accepting a fate of devotion.
we embrace the transcendent flame.
For Natlan!
For Natlan!
In the name of the Pyro Archon Halloran, I declare the Night Wars underway! The Ode of Resurrection will guard all life till the war is over!
Though victorious, Mahuika prepares to descend alone into the Night Kingdom, where abyssal corruption is fatal to all but her and the Traveler. She entrusts the fallen to memory and asks the Traveler to stand with her if they gain their ancient name. Meanwhile, Capitano seeks his own final reckoning, guided by the Lord of the Night, toward the fate awaiting him after the abyssal invasion. Traveler and Paimon visit the Flowerfeather clan there. Aeon-san is already helping, and Chief Mitoda explains that some warriors, Otoko, Koketta, and Okotlan, are suffering from trauma caused by the abyssal rift, the Reaper of the Abyss. They first help Otoko, who mourns his lost Saurian. By confronting his grief, he begins to heal. Next, they aid Koketta, whose courage faltered despite her past as a strong warrior. With encouragement and by defeating rift wolves, she regains her confidence. But Okotlan's case is worse. He mistakes his tribe for abyssal monsters and lashes out. Capitano appears, revealing this is abyssal corrosion syndrome. Only a harsh cure, the Draft of Lucidity, can save him, though it leaves Okotlan with lasting pain. Capitano then shares his past. He witnessed Natla's resilience, and his second-in-command, Guthred, sacrificed himself to create the cure. When the Traveler asks about Renova, Capitano reveals she caused his people suffering, and that the ruler of death can twist death itself or grant immortality. He removes his mask, exposing his true face, and warns that the battle isn't over. Soon after, Solennon gathers the clans to record the Traveler's feats into the Pilgrim's Chronicle, a vital step toward forging their ancient name. With it, she declares, the final war can at last begin. Mahuika summons the Traveler, saying their ancient name is nearly ready. While resting, the traveler dreams of the Night Kingdom, witnessing tormented souls, and Capitano pressing onward with a rift in his chest. Back in Natlan, Mahuika reveals her plan to enter the Night Kingdom, but insists the traveler rest. They attend a feast with friends, where Auroran's ritual reveals Capitano contains countless souls and may be linked to Thrain. Soon after, Zelonin completes the traveler's ancient name. Testing it draws many lost souls, including heroes and Io's grandparents, who choose to remain with him. At the stadium, Tumaini is revealed to all. Mahuika and the traveler enter the Night Kingdom, fighting alongside spirits and friends until finally facing Gasoithoth.
You so yearn for the agony of death, then bow down to its true appearance!
You who traverse the stars, fear not. Natlan has placed its trust in you. Descender, ignite your fire, the hope that burns within.
Listen.
No, it can't be!
We are the inheritors of memory and legend! Those who grew alongside sun and wind!
Those who forged our own destiny and future! That is Natlan's fire! The lifeblood of our nation!
Won't give up hope. This is where we forge our future with our own 2 hands! There's a faster way. Hop on!
With Natlan's faith giving them strength, they manage to defeat the Abyss threat. Afterward, celebrations begin, but Sitlali warns that Mavwika is still destined to die in Natlan. They then confront Renova, who demands Mavwika's life as the price. Capitano steps in and merges with the Lord of the Night, freeing the souls inside him and ensuring that Mavwika survives. Peace returns to Natlan, but Capitano is lost. Mavwika honors his sacrifice and entrusts Natlan's future to the Traveler.
Is now the tool with which I will overturn the oppression of the gods. Forsake one of your rules.
Your new heart has limitless potential, and you have wielded it with bravery and honor. I grant you the title of Sentinel Knight. Like the 4 pillars of strength, you will continue to safeguard the glory of Khaenri'ah.
The glory of Khaenri'ah.
Our land, our dignity, and every comrade who fights alongside us.
The Night Kingdom is almost destroyed. Our fallen soldiers, your comrades, they have nowhere to go. What are you doing? Are you taking all their souls with you? You're just an ordinary person. You can't bear that kind of burden.
No hero should have to wander alone.
The curse of immortality. Using immortality to fight death. Using my rules against me.
Make your choice. Reject your rules. Or allow me to trigger the paradox.
The curse of immortality must stand. Use it to fulfill your final wish.
Well fought, my lord. Thank you for everything.
This time, let's go together. Yes. Let's go together.
She also reveals that Ildotore is planning to create beings capable of using all elements, and that Nod-Krai may be their next destination. The story begins again in Natlan, where the traveler meets Iansen and joins her patrol. During one patrol, they discover a strange cave. Inside, a hilitrol becomes frightened and runs away upon seeing the traveler. While exploring further, the traveler finds a familiar-looking key hidden in the cave. To their shock, it is identical to the hibernation chamber key, the same kind used on the spaceship they arrived in, and it may be connected to their missing sibling. The traveler begins to think that this key might actually belong to their sibling. While they are discussing this strange discovery, Janssen returns and informs them that a bodybuilding competition has been cancelled because of an Abyss Order attack. The group later reunites with Mavuika, who explains that Natlan is currently at war with the Abyss Order. The Traveler reveals that the leader of the Abyss Order is their sibling. Surprised, Mavuika asks if the Traveler still stands with Natlan, and the Traveler confirms that they do, choosing to help defend the tribes under attack. During this mission, they meet Sitlali and the Masters of the Night Wind. Together, they launch an assault on an Abyss stronghold and successfully defeat the enemy. After the battle, the Traveler returns to the cave to investigate the key more closely. There, a mysterious girl named Durdith appears, saying she is being chased by monsters. Strangely, Paimon cannot see any monsters, but the Traveler is able to see them after touching Durdith. Even after defeating them, Paimon still cannot see anything. They allow Durdith to stay in the cave for safety. During their conversation, she explains that she is searching for the Savior, a figure from a prophecy in her homeland. She also mentions that a sage predicted the end of the world and said the Savior would appear soon. She is shocked at how closely the Traveler matches the description, except for the gender. The Traveler quickly realizes she is likely talking about their sibling, which also shocks Durdith. After understanding that the Savior she seeks might be the Traveler's sibling, Durdith begs to meet them, believing they can save her homeland. However, Paimon explains that the Traveler is also still searching for their sibling. Realizing they share the same goal, Durdith suggests they work together. She explains that a disaster is unavoidable, and only the Savior can stop it. For safety, she stays hidden in the cave while the Traveler returns to Janssen, who reports that the war has reached a stalemate. She also mentions that the Abyss Order seems to be doing some kind of meditation. The Traveler encourages the soldiers to keep their spirits up. When they meet Sitlali again, the Traveler shares what they have seen. Sitlali explains that in a dream, she sensed a strange signal entering Natlan's ley lines, possibly coming from another dimension. Hearing this, the Traveler tells her about the invisible monsters near the cave. Janssen, worried, warns the Traveler to be careful around Durdith. When the Traveler returns to the cave unexpectedly, Durdith attacks them, mistaking them for a monster. She quickly apologizes, explaining that she is injured and starving. The Traveler prepares food, and while eating together, Durdith talks about her wish to explore the world outside her homeland. Suddenly, the invisible Abyss monsters appear again. By holding her hand, the Traveler allows Durdith to see and fight them. That night, the Traveler stays with her, but while looking at the hibernation key, they fall asleep. In their dream, the Traveler sees their sibling talking to the Lord of the Night, but the vision is interrupted by pain and a mysterious voice. The voice speaks about the end of the world and the birth of a savior.
And the birth of a savior.
The Traveler wakes up to find Durdith holding their hand, saying she sensed they were suffering and wanted to comfort them. The Traveler can barely remember the dream, except for the image of their sibling. They fall asleep again while Paimon keeps watch over Durdith. The next morning, the Traveler leaves food for her. As they prepare to leave, Durdith asks how she can contact them if she learns anything about the Traveler's sibling. The Traveler suggests sending a letter to Mavuika, though Durdith does not recognize the name. Suddenly, Abyss monsters attack again, and once more she can only see them when holding the Traveler's hand. After the battle, the Traveler returns to the Masters of the Night Wind. Janssen reports that the Abyss front line has collapsed, supposedly because of a single unknown person. The Traveler immediately suspects Dainsleif, and when they meet him, he confirms that the Abyss Order's actions are on a much larger scale than before, suggesting their true goal is something deeper. When the Traveler tells him about the key and Durdith, Dainsleif explains that the title Savior existed even before the Khaenri'ah Cataclysm. It was once a title given to the prince, the Traveler's sibling, by the Eclipse dynasty. He believes Durdith may be a pure-blood Khaenri'ah who is cursed with immortality. The next day, after fighting through enemies, they confront an Abyss leader who claims that the prince has already succeeded and that Khaenri'ah is being revived. However, the Traveler and Paimon doubt this, remembering Sitlali's dream and the strange phenomena around Durdith. The Traveler begins to suspect that Durdith may actually be from the past, and that time itself is overlapping. Dainsleif refuses to believe that Khaenri'ah has truly been restored, and fights the Abyss leader, who is revealed to be his former mentor, also cursed with immortality. The enemy tries to trap Dainsleif by using his memories to power the Loom of Fate, revealing that the revival is not real. Instead, the Abyss Order is trying to recreate Khaenri'ah using memories, since the original cannot be brought back. Dainsleif possesses a special ring that preserves memories, making him their true target. Meanwhile, when the traveler returns to Deirdith and holds her hand, they experience a vision of the cataclysm 500 years ago, confirming that she is from the past.
Deirdith! Deirdith, are you okay? Did something happen? Huh?
She asks for something to remember her brother by. The traveler realizes that the hilly troll they saw earlier was actually Deirdith, who had kept the key for 500 years even after losing her human form. No matter whether the traveler keeps or gives the key, time suddenly stops, and they meet their sibling in a frozen space controlled by the god of time. The sibling explains that Deirdith showed them the key 500 years ago, and although they wanted to reunite, she was still asleep at the time. The sibling reveals that they made an agreement with the Lord of the Night to use the Loom of Fate to create a new world based on Khaenri'ah. They now possess the power to shape this new world. When asked why they want to restore Khaenri'ah, the sibling explains that after arriving there, they lost their memories and lived as part of that world, eventually seeing it as their second home. They also want to stand against the heavenly principles as an equal, which requires the support of an entire world. However, the heavenly principles are already watching. If the traveler gives the key, the story continues naturally. If they keep it, the sibling gives them another key instead, ensuring that events still lead to their reunion, continuing the time loop.
I don't know why, but the way you're talking just doesn't sound like you at all. Either. This whole thing, your plan, what does it have to do with us?
All along, it's only ever been about us. Goodbye, Lumine. We will begin anew at the end of your journey.
After they part ways, the traveler returns to the present. Sitlali reveals that she spoke with the Lord of the Night in a dream, who allowed the use of the Loom of Fate only after confirming it would not harm Natlan. However, there is still one condition that has not been revealed. In the end, the traveler returns to the cave, overwhelmed with emotion, and falls asleep. As they rest, someone, possibly Deirdith in her hilichurl form, holds their hand, bringing the story to a quiet and emotional close. Not long after, they meet Anefa, a robot from Nod-Krai, carrying a message from Varka, guiding them toward their next destination. After spending more time in Natlan, Anefa waits outside the Stadium of the Sacred Flame for the Traveler and Paimon. She tells them that the conditions are finally right for them to leave Natlan. Just as they prepare to go, Mualani, Kachina, Kanich, and Aja arrive. Paimon had already told them about the departure, so they came to send them off with a farewell gathering. They mention that everyone is waiting, and Kachina invites Anefa as well, which he happily accepts. Meanwhile, someone secretly watches them from behind a wall. Elsewhere in Nod-Krai, this observer reports to Snezhnaya, informing her that the traveler is leaving Natlan. Snezhnaya remarks that it's finally time for her to meet this variable in person. Later, aboard a ship heading toward Nod-Krai, the traveler, Anefa, and Paimon talk about new journeys. Anefa shares that her turning point was when she entered Natlan and could no longer sense the moon's power. They eventually arrive at Nasha Town, a port city. As the traveler steps onto land, they feel a strange, familiar energy, similar to when they first arrived in Teyvat with their sibling. Paimon is surprised they haven't discussed this more, but the traveler explains they only remember landing and being awakened by their sibling. Anefa suggests that this feeling may come from Kuvaki, a pure and ancient form of energy tied to the moon. It's similar to Phlogiston or the Primordial Sea. The traveler suspects it might be connected to the Light Realm mentioned by Yohu Altekutin. Because of this, they believe their lost spaceship may be somewhere nearby, possibly near a beach or mountain. However, Ineffa points out that Nod-Krai is made of many islands, so that description could apply to almost anywhere. As they walk through town, Paimon suggests going to the Adventurers Guild to spread word about the ship. On the way, they encounter a floating creature called a Kuhenki, a native spirit tied to the moon goddess. Ineffa suggests following it for good luck. It leads them to treasure and important locations around the town. They visit a spot above the smithy where Ineffa explains Nod-Krai's history. Paimon notices a large cannon, Ano's Boom and Blast Kuvaki cannon, used to defend against the Wild Hunt. Ineffa explains that the Wild Hunt is dangerous but doesn't have much detailed information about it. They then go to the flagship to meet Varka, but he isn't there. Instead, they speak to the bartender, Demyon, who explains that Varka left for Lake Amsvartnir due to trouble. He also arranged lodging for them and left food for Ineffa to deliver to Ano, worried about her unhealthy eating habits. After settling in, Paimon accidentally bumps into a man named Flins. He introduces himself as a ratnik who protects graveyards from the Wild Hunt. The traveler notices something unusual about his lantern, but doesn't fully understand it yet. Later, they meet Lauma, a moon chanter from the Frost Moon Scions, who is distributing food. Two Fatui soldiers rudely demand some, causing tension. Lauma remains calm, but warns them not to abuse their kindness. The Fatui eventually leave, recognizing the traveler. Lauma invites the traveler to visit the Frost Moon Enclave. At the Adventurers Guild, the traveler unexpectedly encounters Marionette, Sandrone.
Look very closely, for standing before you is none other than Marionette, 7th of the Fatui Harbingers.
A Harbinger?
I told you already, I'm not Catherine. Just how obsessed are you with my machines? And, being the refined young lady that I am, I shall indulge you just this Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to Nod-Krai, Dominion of the Fatui.
She warns them not to interfere in Fatui matters, showing that the Fatui are closely watching their actions. The traveler meets Ano at her workshop, where she is surrounded by machines. She confirms she has never seen the traveler's spaceship. However, she suggests visiting the Frost Moon Scions, who have a ritual to see the true past. At Hisi Island, Lauma welcomes them and explains her people's history. The Frost Moon Scions originate from Hyperborea and are connected to the 3 moons. Only one moon remains intact, while fragments of the others fell into Nod-Krai, creating its abundance of Kuvaki. The Fatui are actively collecting these moon fragments. Lauma also shares a prophecy about the moon goddess returning, but not in the way they expected. During dinner, Fatui soldiers return and demand a relic called Moon Marrow. They threaten to attack the island if it isn't handed over. Lauma refuses, and a brief fight breaks out before the Fatui retreat. Lauma later explains that the relic is used in a ritual and cannot currently be accessed. That night, the traveler secretly returns to Hisi Island and encounters a mysterious woman in a hidden cavern surrounded by blue flowers. She introduces herself as Columbina, also known as Kutar. She explains that she doesn't know her true name and was born alone. She seems deeply connected to the moon and the Kuhenki. After leaving, the traveler encounters their sibling. The sibling is also searching for the moon marrow and refuses to wait. They open a hidden path using abyssal power and convince the traveler to join them. Inside the sanctum, they pass several trials and reach the relic. However, something goes wrong and the traveler suddenly finds themselves outside, surrounded by the Wild Hunt. Flint appears and saves them, mentioning he saw someone else fleeing, likely the sibling. The traveler returns to town, learning that the relic has been stolen. Lauma begins investigating, while the traveler admits they entered the sanctum with their sibling. Although Lauma is not angry, the situation becomes more complicated as the Fatui also seem involved. Lauma reveals she has known for a long time that the sky is fake, and secretly uses her own silver blood to heal others. She asks the traveler to keep it hidden while preparing for a coming Fatui invasion. The traveler later meets Columbina, who explains parts of her past with the Frostmoon Scions and the Fatui, saying both only valued her powers. The traveler, Lauma, and Jehoda infiltrate a Fatui base to recover the Moon Marrow. They face traps, alarms, and discover Wilhelmina betrayed the Scions and joined the Fatui because she could no longer live a lie. During the mission, the Wild Hunt attacks, and the traveler realizes an illusion about their sibling was fake.
Lumine, over here!
Ether!
Quick, grab my hand! Lumine, what's wrong?
Why are you here at all, Ether?
What do you mean?
If I may be so bold, what does family mean to you?
Why were you after the Moon Marrow that night, Ether?
Among those who entered the final chamber, there was either someone with impure intent, or else an abyssal presence.
We can talk about that later.
Tell me why, Ether.
You know, this is only the second time we fought together since the day we both woke up in Teyvat.
No.
Lumine. But when I found you, you were still in hibernation. Even the—
We didn't wake up together.
What are you talking about? We don't have time for this, Lumine! Look at me, Lumine! Don't you want to explore this world with me? You think I'd lie to my little sis? What a letdown. Go get it from me, Lumine. It belongs to me.
I never believed it. I didn't want to believe it. That strange feeling that something was off. I wanted it to be real so badly, even if it only lasted a moment. But you're not my brother.
Moon Goddess, please save us!
Why is this happening to us?
The cold night should be our blessing, yet only confusion and sorrow remain. The truth may yet lie beyond the sky, but must we become lost because of it? Standing before you, as a scion of Hyperborea and the Frost Moon's emissary, I say this. Should the false sky above dim the light of the moon, then from silver blood that flows as rivers, let us weave moonlight anew.
Marinette eventually gives up the Moon Marrow after chaos breaks out. Back at the curatorium, Lauma considers storing the dangerous Moon Marrow inside herself, but the traveler volunteers instead. Finally, Lauma tells the Frost Moon Scions the truth about the fake sky. Some members leave in disbelief, while others appreciate her honesty, making her feel closer to them and finally at peace. The Traveler and Paimon investigate the recent Wild Hunt attacks in Nasha Town and reunite with Aino, Inefa, and Susi as they work on repairing Aino's powerful boom and blast Kuvaki cannon. While gathering information, they attend a banquet arranged by Nefer to question survivors about a mysterious phantom connected to the Wild Hunt, but learn little besides the fact that strange incidents are happening before the Lightkeepers arrive. The traveler later visits Lama, who uses the moon marrow to show them fragments of a memory involving their crashed spaceship in Nod-Krai. Columbina then reveals important truths about the moon marrow, explaining that it is tied to Arya and the Frost Moon. She also recalls hearing about the Retcher of Solnari, leading the traveler to realize that their enemy is likely Rerir, one of the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. Columbina helps the traveler explore their memories further, and teaches them how to hide the moon marrow's presence from the Wild Hunt. As the Wild Hunt grows stronger, Susie is suddenly murdered, and Flint's becomes the prime suspect.
Si operissos. Si oeribus. Yamalune sattesi foramus kalum. Inni obselu natusinin Persebi kestun.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first.
Tutoni nektorai desnevite.
You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern now!
It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
The traveler investigates and eventually discovers that Rerir had disguised himself as Susie earlier, using mimicry powers. Flint's reveals the truth about his abyssal lantern and his past as a fae who joined the Lightkeepers after finding purpose fighting the Wild Hunt. The traveler, Flint's, and the others uncover Rerir's real goal. He intends to use Aino's cannon on himself. Since Kuvaki and abyssal energy are opposites, the cannon's concentrated power would allow him to restore his body and become far stronger. Rerir activates the cannon remotely at Starsand Shoal, forcing everyone into a desperate battle to stop him. Although Inefa, Flint's, and the Traveler manage to weaken the blast, part of the cannon's corrupted beam still reaches Rerir and restores much of his physical form.
We are out of time.
All your efforts have been futile. It is too late now.
Perhaps you're right. Why aren't you running?
Sigisato passa sax, intili potutos. In necritus necrus baptusi, cenis ondes tu zonos pentusi. Osesticos palatin pirantur resurcu, topirtu aetion veratum.
mad by knowledge. But the truths you seek are so insipid. How laughable that you should die for their sake!
You're wrong. The unknown is but a fog to be dispersed. Knowledge is the true pillar of the world. You're not the only one who got stronger. Polonia!
Snezhnaya and Polonia arrive to fight him, but even Polonia is defeated. Just before Rerir can kill everyone, Columbina rescues the group by teleporting them to Silvermoon Hall. However, Columbina realizes her strength still is not returning, and that her time may be running out. After the battle, Columbina expresses her desire to return to the moon and find the answers she seeks. Elsewhere, Rerir is approached by Varka, who reveals himself and introduces himself directly to the restored sinner. After restoring his body, Rerir begins attacking Kuvaki-rich locations across Nod-Krai. The Traveler and their allies realize they are still far too weak to stop him. During another assault, Rerir attacks Columbina directly, overpowering everyone easily.
No time for questions. Stop him!
This is insane. Yehuda, get Kutar out of here! On it.
Look where your feeble light has gotten you. Now you shall plunge into darkness. Thalindus, soon I will find a way.
Watch out!
Columbina sacrifices more of her fading strength to teleport herself, the Traveler, and Jehoda away from danger, while Rerir unleashes the Wild Hunt to search for them. The group is rescued by Varka, who brings them to a hidden base. Columbina proposes a solution, finding the final moon marrow, the iridescent marrow. She believes combining all 3 marrows could restore her lost power. The group separates into teams. Aino and Anefa create decoys, Nefer investigates Rerir's past, and the Traveler accompanies Columbina to the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau. At the bureau, Sandrone reluctantly helps them despite tensions between her and Columbina. Meanwhile, Nefer, Lauma, and Jehoda use fragments connected to Rerir's heart to explore his memories. They learn that Rerir was once a Khaenri'ah serving under Ermin and was tasked with hunting descendants of the Crimson Moon dynasty. He had been engaged to a woman named Thelindis, though she never knew the truth about his mission. As the Wild Hunt corners the Traveler and Columbina, they are rescued by Arlecchino. She reveals that she is one of the Crimson Moon descendants and agrees to help them locate the iridescent marrow. She opens a dangerous portal leading to the marrow's domain and warns them not to listen to the voices within. Inside the domain, the Traveler and Columbina retrieve the iridescent marrow while fighting off abyssal creatures.
That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel.
Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The Crimson Moons! My marrow! My heart! Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise.
are you waiting for?
Arlecchino forces open their escape route, though the Abyss corrupts her hands in the process. The Traveler offers to purify the corruption, but she refuses, saying she already accepted the price. Finally, the Traveler and Arlecchino combine their power with the iridescent marrow and give it to Colombina, bringing her closer to regaining her full strength before the final confrontation with Rerir. The Traveler and Paimon regroup with everyone at the secret base after recovering the iridescent marrow. Flintz reveals that he met 2 allies during a Wild Hunt battle, Albedo and Mini Durin. Soon after, Arlecchino returns briefly before leaving to meet Snezhnaya. Varka then introduces another ally, Dainsleif. Dainsleif explains the origins of the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah and admits he never understood why Rerir joined them, since he never sought power for ambition's sake. Colombina reveals that even with all 3 moon marrows, she still cannot overpower Rerir alone. The Traveler later joins Nefer, Jehoda, and Lauma in another ritual exploring Rerir's past. They discover that under King Ermin, Rerir was ordered to kill descendants of the Crimson Moon dynasty, including his own fiancée, Thelindis. Horrified by Ermin's orders, he spared his next target, Freyther, and became disillusioned. Dainsleif then recruited him into a mission alongside Sertologi, Reindetyr, and Heruptetyr to rescue Vedrfolnir from imprisonment. During the rescue, Vedrfolnir told Rerir to go to the Universitas Magistrorum, where he found Thelindis standing before a portal. Having learned the truth, she sacrificed herself by entering it so Rerir could live freely.
What's that?
Rerir! So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
Thelindis? No, don't do it! Thelindis! Thelindis!
I told you, Rerir. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No! No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lowly pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know why? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Rerir, thank goodness we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair or desire. We all have our own.
Rerir.
Thelindis?
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice.
I will find you. And then, you can give me your answer.
Devastated and desperate to reunite with her, Rerir accepted the mysterious voice's power and became one of the sinners. After the ritual, the group suddenly becomes trapped in a strange desert domain connected to Nefer's memories. They witness her tragic childhood as an adopted eremite raised by the Shinti tribe under Signore. The tribe was annihilated after Signore unknowingly stole water from another tribe's well. Nefer later entered the academia thanks to Uncle Anpu, only to learn her adoptive father's desperate letter was ignored. Consumed by anger and revenge, she eventually discovered an ancient temple tied to Thoth. At the temple, Rerir suddenly manifests and attempts to kill Nefer for uncovering too much about his past. Before he can finish her, an unknown attack interrupts him, and the group escapes back to reality, where Columbina and Dainsleif are waiting.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well? Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear. You're sure? Of course. It's almost over.
Hold on!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive.
Nefer's chest box violently reacts, forcing her to restrain it with dendro powers. The group then prepares for the final battle against Rerir. During the fight, Rerir forces Lauma, Aino, and Flintz away so he can focus entirely on Nefer. As he unleashes his full power, Albedo and Durin use alchemy to redirect that energy into Columbina. Empowered by the converted energy, Columbina overwhelms Rerir and opens a moon gate. Dainsleif holds the gate open while Columbina throws Rerir into it, banishing him out of Teyvat.
The only way to defeat Rerir is to borrow his own power. That means Columbina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on. Find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you.
Your eyes are bleeding!
Soon you will be Pout and then...
But that dust will plague your memory. Come on.
Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertain...
You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage. Make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. You cannot win...
Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid!
You fear the sound of your own name?
Is it us you hate? Or is it what you've become?
Let's see what becomes of you! What's happening? That power... I've seen it before!
His power is on another level. We'll need to use an alchemical array to convert his power into a usable form. Then quickly channel it into Columbina, rendering her powerful enough to compete with him.
I'll join you. I can help. If I release enough abyssal energy into a confined space, it'll create a potential difference, allowing us to extract a huge amount of elemental energy. Next, I'll synchronize with everyone's minds using Pyro, then give you temporary access to their abilities and fields of view. But it won't last long. Can you see?
Well enough.
So, we have a student of Gold Rhine-Daughter in our midst!
How about that?
You use my own power against me?
Just like how you stole Kuvaki. Look familiar?
Don't you realize? You don't have the power to hold that gate open!
I don't, but someone else does.
Goodbye, Rerir.
We won.
After the battle, Nefer temporarily loses her eyesight due to the strain of provoking Rerir into using his full strength. The next day, everyone celebrates their victory aboard the flagship. Later, the traveler visits Snezhnaya at the bureau, where she discusses the Lord Artificer Alan Guillotine and reflects on his actions while beginning repairs on Polonia. 2 months after arriving in Nod-Krai, the traveler and Paimon prepare for Moon Prayer Night, the region's greatest festival. Catherine explains the festival's connection to the Frost Moon Scions and the Moon Goddess. Meanwhile, the traveler remains worried about Columbina, whose strength continues fading after the battle with Rerir, as well as Detoy's unexplained absence. The traveler visits Columbina at Silver Moon Hall and learns she plans to return to the moon during Moon Prayer Night, when Kuvaki energy reaches its peak. If she stays in Teyvat, she will eventually cease to exist entirely. The traveler invites her to celebrate the festival with everyone before her departure, and she reluctantly accepts. Lauma and Varka decide that instead of trying to keep her there, they should simply give her happy memories and blessings before she leaves. As the festival approaches, strange phantoms begin appearing across Nod-Krai. Durin, Albedo, Flintz, Nefer, and Jehoda investigate them separately. Jehoda discovers a phantom ship at Star Sand Shoal identical to the traveler's spaceship, though it cannot be touched or changed. Other phantoms reenact historical scenes like an unchangeable play. Durin's investigation reveals visions from the Khaenri'ah cataclysm, forcing him to confront his own abyssal nature and existence. Flintz explains that fate and history are effectively fixed, since he personally lived through those ancient disasters centuries ago. Later, the group decides to prepare a farewell gift for Columbina, but since nobody knows what she actually likes, they leave the responsibility entirely to the traveler. Meanwhile, Columbina suddenly disappears from Silvermoon Hall. The traveler and Lauma discover that she has not physically left, she is fading from existence itself. At that moment, Alice appears and reveals the true crisis. The powers of all three moons gathering in Nod-Krai are destabilizing Teyvat's borders. Worse still, Columbina no longer has any true identity anchoring her existence. Columbina and Kutar were never her real names, and the world itself is rejecting her. Alice explains that the Moonmarrow plan will no longer save her. To survive, they must discover her true name and find a way to send her to the real moon using a special ritual. She directs them to another Hexenzirkel witch, Nicole. Nicole explains that the moon goddesses were erased from the world's natural order, which is why Columbina is disappearing. She reveals that ancient Hyperboreans once tried to reach the moons and proposes recreating such a gateway using phantom projections and Kuvaki resonance. To enter the Hyperborean ruins needed for the ritual, compatible people must undergo Kuvaki infusion. Only the Traveler, Lauma, and Arlecchino prove compatible enough to proceed. As preparations continue, Columbina secretly listens to everyone desperately trying to save her. She realizes that people truly care about her, but she has become so weak she cannot even enter the ruins anymore. Meanwhile, Durin, Albedo, and Wanderer experiment with changing a phantom's fate using abyssal powers and partially succeed when a phantom remembers them for the first time. Finally, the ruins open, but Columbina realizes her consciousness is almost gone and wonders whether she can survive until Moon Prayer Night. The Traveler, Paimon, Lauma, Arlecchino, and Nicole enter ancient Hyperborean ruins to discover Columbina's true name and save her fading existence. Inside, they learn the full history of Teyvat's three moons, created by Nibelung, weaponized during his war against the Heavenly Principles, and eventually destroyed or abandoned. One moon surviving is what allowed Columbina to exist at all. The group eventually reaches an ancient platform once used to communicate with the moons, where Nicole reveals an important truth. Columbina never had a true name to begin with. Nicole explains that in Teyvat, names gain power through emotional meaning, not history. The Traveler calls out the name Columbina, the identity she resonated with most, and everyone accepts it as her true self. Returning to Silvermoon Hall, the Traveler finds Columbina's fading consciousness and restores her fully by speaking her chosen name. She reveals her full identity, Columbina Hyposelenia, meaning born beneath the moon.
Have they come back out? They didn't make it.
Could you tell me your name?
My name is...
Columbina! Columbina! Are you here? Columbina! That's the name you gave when we first met. And it's what I've called you ever since.
Columbina.
It's a fine name. I have many fond memories of Columbina, and so do all of your friends. If you like this name,
My name is Columbina Hyposelenia.
The people of Nod-Krai then transform Moon Prayer Night into a celebration welcoming her home as their moon goddess.
Hey, young lady! Would you like some Moon Prayer Night candy? Happy Moon Prayer Night! Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to say. Welcome home, Moon Goddess.
Welcome home, Moon Goddess. Welcome home, Moon Goddess.
Welcome home, Moon Goddess.
Turning Nashatown into her home is a festive gift. A rather brilliant idea.
Perhaps this is what Nod-Krai, Columbina's home, should have been like all along.
Thank you for the gift. I like it a lot.
During Moon Prayer Night, Columbina experiences ordinary happiness for the first time. She spends time with her friends, plays games, shares emotional farewells, and slowly realizes she is loved not as a god, but as a person. She confesses to the traveler that she fears losing everything she has finally gained, but the traveler reassures her that their bonds will remain even if she returns to the moon. At the Hyperborean ruins, the group prepares the ritual to send Columbina home. However, Ditore suddenly ambushes them. Using forbidden lunar knowledge and an artificial moon created from the powers of all three moon marrows, he freezes time and attempts to seize absolute power. The traveler is overwhelmed in battle. Realizing Ditore can only maintain control while she remains present, Columbina sacrifices her chance to return home and leaps into a moon gate leading into the same mysterious realm where Rerir vanished.
Thank you. This was my happiest night in Teyvat.
Farewell, Columbina.
The moon really is closer than ever tonight.
Columbina.
All three moons in one place. Time for one final experiment. Reason, life, death, time, and space. They all believed I would fail. But Teyvat's primordial power never did belong to the throne of heaven. And now, they are mine.
Is free to wield the Three Moons' power. It's the only way. I guess I won't be going home today.
Columbina! No!
Stubborn world, do not try to control me!
Columbina.
Dottore is forced to retreat, but Columbina disappears. Afterward, everyone realizes Dottore manipulated the Hyperborean phantoms to gain forbidden moon knowledge and hijack the ritual. Arlecchino abandons Fatui restrictions and vows to rescue Columbina personally. Allies across Mondstadt, the Hexenzirkel, the Curatorium, and Nod-Krai unite against Dottore. Meanwhile, the Traveler mourns Columbina while remembering her final words about how her name became real because of her friends. A few days later, the group learns that Arlecchino and Sandrone are assaulting Dottore's northern laboratory. The Traveler and their allies head there and discover Dottore had been developing an artificial moon marrow for years, using the moon marrows stolen from Columbina. Inside the facility, Dottore reveals he plans to ascend into a god using lunar power. Arlecchino joins the fight, but Dottore easily regenerates his injuries and captures the Traveler while teleporting everyone else away. Elsewhere, Columbina awakens within the moon's reflection, a strange realm flowing backward through time. While trapped there, she discovers she can interact with past events slightly. Meanwhile, back in Nod-Krai, Arlecchino, Nefer, Sandrone, and the others discover Dottore has replaced the frost moon with his artificial moon and is creating dangerous energy fields across the region. Sandrone also discovers everyone who entered Dottore's facility was secretly cursed. The Traveler, imprisoned by Dottore, is subjected to manipulation, as Dottore offers to restore their status as a descender and end their journey instantly. He argues that the gods and Teyvat's rules unfairly restrain life itself. Though tempted by some truths in his words, the Traveler ultimately refuses him. At the same time, Columbina repeatedly travels into the past through the moon's reflection, unknowingly becoming the cause of several earlier mysteries. She creates the shield that protected Hisi Island from the corrupted cannon blast, moves books needed by the Traveler in the Lightkeeper's library, and finally creates Luanatar using part of her own soul, so that Luanatar can guide the Traveler toward her past self.
Hey, what was that? It was I who brought Luanatar into being. I gave up a piece of my own soul to create her. That's why I could sense a familiar power from the moment I entered this. It also explains why she's been present in every past location that I've entered. Because we have a deep connection. Hey there! What's your— And the reason why there are no more gates to the past after this point is that Luanatar hadn't been born then. No wonder I sensed the trace of a blessing when we first met. But I still didn't recognize the soul hidden within you back then. I was just a little lost dove. I had yet to become Columbina Hyposelenia.
Go on now. We've got stuff to do.
Hey, you scared it off.
I'll be counting on you. Remember to stay by the Traveler's side. Oh, and bring her to the garden where the moon prayer blossoms grow. There's a little lost dove there who will need her help. You too. As for mine.
The others begin massive evacuation efforts across Nod-Krai as Dottore's power spreads. Sandrone and Albedo investigate Dottore's experiments and discover horrifying research where human minds were transferred into animals. Nefer also attempts to contact the traveler through their memories, but is nearly detected by Dottore. Eventually, Wanderer infiltrates Dottore's realm and rescues the traveler.
Now to that question,
Heroes don't attack from behind. Guess I'm no hero.
This is most disappointing. Now then. A new face. Interesting.
Reunited at the Curatorium, the group learns Columbina is still alive inside the moon's reflection. Nicole then explains more about the origins of the Moon Sisters. Inside the moon's reflection, Columbina encounters Rerir again. Now sane, he explains Dottore resurrected him and manipulated his revival to coincide with Columbina's weakening. Rerir finally admits he is tired of running from his past and asks Columbina to deliver a message to Tholindis. Columbina later meets Tholindis herself, who reveals she entered the moon's reflection long ago, hoping to change history, but died instantly, leaving only her soul behind. She forgives Rerir and helps Columbina continue traveling through time. Eventually, Columbina encounters the three Moon Sisters themselves, Sonnet, Canon, and Arya. They explain they were imprisoned by Nibelung, and that Kuvaki did not even exist in their era. Columbina asks to borrow their powers so she can return to the present and stop Dottore. Though the process will destroy her physical form, the sisters agree to help. Before doing so, Canon asks Columbina to promise to open her eyes in the future and truly see the world and her friends. Columbina disperses herself into moonlight across Nod-Krai's past so she can eventually reform in the future. Wanderer later secretly cooperates with Snezhnaya, offering his own core to help compute a world formula capable of reconnecting Columbina to reality, even though it could erase him entirely. Meanwhile, Columbina speaks with the Moon Sisters. They explain their imprisonment and the destruction brought by the heavenly principles. Columbina asks if she can escape by technically dying, dispersing herself into moonlight before reconstructing herself in the future. The sisters transfer their authorities to her, becoming mortal in the process, and Columbina sends them back into history to meet their end together. Nefer risks blindness to witness Columbina's memories through the Wanatar and learns the full truth of Columbina's sacrifice. At the same time, all civilians are evacuated from Nod-Krai so the final battle with Dottore can begin safely. Dottore attacks Nashitown personally, revealing his new divine form as the heretic of the false moon. He drags everyone into a massive sky arena and easily overpowers the Traveler, Flynn's, Lauma, and Nefer. One by one, he traps them in separate dimensions before offering the Traveler one final chance to join him.
The experiment begins.
Sandrone and Polonia intervene to buy time for the world formula's completion. However, Dottore mortally wounds Sandrone after she refuses to surrender. Before dying, she insults him one final time.
Is this your life's work? This piece of trash? Your formula runs too slowly, Sandrone. You put your hope for success on others instead of fighting dirty. That is why you have failed. Now, whom should I slay first? Any volunteers? No one? How nice of you to leave the decision to me. Oh, how unexpected. Sandrone, any last words for me, comrade?
Is there anything you wish for?
Not really. But I've always known what I don't want. Go to hell, Dottore.
And now, you have failed.
Dottore believes he has won after the formula stops at 90%, but Sandrone had secretly hidden the true formula within Polonia and Wanderer's Irminsul core instead of herself. Arlecchino, Varka, and Nicole then pull the real Frost Moon into Teyvat, shattering Dottore's false sky and completing the formula. Columbina's spirit and Moonlight reunite with the authority of the Frost Moon, transforming her into the Tri-Lune goddess as she opens her eyes for the first time and descends onto the battlefield.
It is pointless to fight on. You've already lost.
Wrong. You can't win this, Dottore.
What?
My formula can get us 90% of the way. It will connect you to Columbina. Then, I will bring the formula's output to the Traveler's side. For the last 10%, do whatever it takes. Just bring the moon down.
turn my body into moonlight and pour it over Nod-Krai. My soul I leave here to inform my future friends. Lastly, I will hide the Trilune Authority within the Frost Moon. And when my body, soul, and authority are reunited, finally... It's been too long. I'm back.
Together, Columbina, the Traveler, Flyns, Lauma, and Nefer overpower Detoy. Columbina destroys his artificial moon marrow with overwhelming lunar power, vaporizing the heretic of the false moon once and for all. After the victory, however, Columbina discovers Sandrone's body and quietly mourns her fallen friend.
How can you be so satisfied with your fate?
Was never about fate. It's about friends, family, and the home you stole from them.
So dull. Only the weak rely on each other for comfort. You shall see. Once I transcend fate, you will be nothing but fodder for my grand experiment!
That will never happen. No, this world is our home.
In the aftermath, Nod-Krai begins rebuilding, and a new league forms between its factions. The Tsaritsa revokes Columbina's arrest warrant after learning the truth. Arlecchino reveals Sandrone secretly hid her real formula inside Polonia to deceive Detoy, sacrificing herself to ensure victory. Finally, the Traveler reunites with Columbina on Hisi Island. She decides to live among the Frost Moon Scions and openly participate in future Moon Prayer Nights. Together, the Traveler and Columbina visit the Traveler's spaceship, resting upon the Frost Moon. There, the Traveler discovers the ship had passed Teyvat thousands of years ago, before eventually crash landing at Nod-Krai. Columbina thanks the Traveler for teaching her the meaning of home, gives part of the Frost Moon's power back to Nod-Krai, and removes some of Teyvat's restrictions from the Traveler, allowing them to wield the elements more freely.